My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Samas, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello! Join me as I am watching Nicolas Basilashvili stretch his thighs. In fact, he's just stopped doing that because now he has to try to return Jakub Menšik's serve, which can be a pretty tough ordeal, so maybe he really has to be focused on that. Anyway, that's kind of the match that I'm interested in. There's a couple of others in the headline. Hopefully Vansh is going to join and just watch them. Because Stefanos Tsitsipas kind of takes life out of me at the moment. And yeah, I just don't really believe in Coco Gauff losing in the opening round of the Australian Open. But if it happens, or if it's close to happening, I'll definitely be tuning into that one. But for now, Vansh is there as well in the chat. In the chat. Vansh has never been in the chat. Vansh is just backstage, and now he is front stage as well.
So yeah, excited about today?
Sorta. I mean, there's definitely a lot to watch, and I didn't exactly my power nap didn't pan out, as in I didn't actually go to sleep. So it's gonna be a tough night, but
yeah,
it is what it is. There's a lot at different parts of the day as well. I definitely want to see Benji Ostapenko. I definitely want to see some 6-7 a.m. matches. And today, the night session actually has at least one match that I want to watch.
Oh, yes. The Fernley versus Kyrgios?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be happening at the same time as Djokovic and Basvaredi and Alcaraz versus Shevchenko. That'll be fun. I would try to watch the first set of all of them. And then kind of assess whether I should go to sleep or continue watching.
Yeah, I think in order to try to watch any of that, I will probably already have to get some hours of sleep beforehand. Not sure how many, but yeah, I will be just trying to kind of adjust during the day. It would have been much better if I just went to sleep for an hour or two, but sadly that was not really a possibility. My scoreboard on court number 12 is not really working yet, but I do believe this is a second breakpoint for Basilashvili already.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just, my stream wasn't working for that, so I just tuned in, but I have Tsitsipas Michelsen on my screen right now. Michelsen is serving first. They only played 1 point. Team love. Oh yeah, I also don't have a scoreboard for Basilashvili Menšik.
Yeah, it's just the feed doesn't have it yet, but hopefully they will fix it at some point. Anyway, it is deuce now. 2 breakpoints have been saved by the Czech. Definitely a very nice start for Basilashvili. The first few points, that power that he has was just really getting the racket out of Menšik's hands sometimes, but we'll see how that goes. Would love to see that sort of serving from Menšik as he was, as he had in the next gen finals against Lerner or against Joao. That was something special. If you can produce that, then Basilashvili will really struggle today.
Yeah, as far as Tsitsipas Michelsen go, I'm actually checking the weather forecast right now because Tsitsipas traditionally struggles in the heat. And the last time he played at the United Cup, he struggled physically a lot. And also in Tokyo, actually, against the same opponent.
Including their last match, I was going to say.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's really that hot. I mean, I didn't think it was that hot in Sydney or wherever they played that, but well, it's not that hot. It's just sunny. 74 degrees right now in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's a ton of action starting up in Melbourne just now. We've got 4 men's matches and 8 on the women's side, and also at 1:30, so my time. So basically in 15 minutes, there's going to be 2 more on the main 2 courts with Gauff, Kenin, and Tomljanovic Kruger. So there's really a lot right now. But yeah, my kind of main focus for now will be Basilashvili Menchik. I might tune into some of Tsitsipas Michelsen, depending on what's going on, really, and what's going on in this one. The women's lineup at the moment, I am not too invested in, to be honest.
Yeah, I might try to catch the beginning of Coco and Kenin, just to kind of see if this is a matchup that like Coco has really moved on and it's not going to be competitive, or it's if like Kenin plays some inspired tennis and.
Grand Boogie, we are missing you. We did a watch along with Vansh on Monfils Basavaredi, and we were thinking, where is Grand Boogie? And well, you weren't there, but you are here today. And of course, Gael isn't actually playing today, is he? So that's gonna be tomorrow between him and Petri Pericard, but definitely quite an interesting match there.
Yeah. Oh, I will also try to catch Joint against Pagula.
Ghosty, this is something. Oof, yeah, oof. No, be careful there. Joint against Pagula could be interesting, yeah. I mean, it's pretty late in the day for me, so like I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to see it. But if I am alive at that point, then yes. Yeah, Jake, I was gonna get to this, and I honestly, I don't even want to answer that question. Someone asked me as well, like just 30 minutes ago, what do I think about that match? And I just don't feel like it's relevant. Like, it's Stefanos Tsitsipas right now. If he doesn't lose here, he's going to lose in the second or third round or quarters to Yannick Sinner. And I don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't interest me whatsoever. Like, we know exactly what's going to be happening. We know exactly how Alex Michelsen is going to be combating the matchup. Basically, I think he's a 50-50. Otherwise, then, of course, Tsitsipas seemingly always plays a bit better in Australia, at the Australian Open at the very least. There's a whole huge like Greek community, that shows up for him. And I don't know, maybe this is important. Alex is still kind of like figuring out his game. I don't know. I just feel very, uninvested in that matchup and in Tsitsipas's route to wherever it goes, this event. It will change completely. Like the moment we hit the clay season, I'm going to be very excited again. But at the moment, after a full year of just like playing a 50%-ish win rate on hard courts, I'm just like sitting here and thinking, what's the point? Does it really matter? The classic thoughts that I always have in my head.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm more invested than you, just because I want to see him actually get to the quarters and play Sinner, because that's a match that I would actually stay up for. If it's de Minaur against Sinner, I'm probably going to bed.
I think both are very uninteresting. When does Kyrgios play today, Grand Boogie? It's going to be the first match of the night session on the third court, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, night session, third court, second on, right?
So it's different there. So it's like last match, but it's the same slot as Djokovic, Basavaredi, as Alcaraz, Shevchenko, basically.
Yeah, because the first one will start 2 hours before. Like the first match of the night session was 2 hours before Rod Laver and Margaret Court.
Yeah, the third court has a bit of a different one. Yeah, it's a bit of a different schedule than the main two. So yeah, it's pretty much more or less around the night session beginning. So like 9 a.m. my time. I guess Australia that would be 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Zeynep Solmaz, is indeed playing right now.
Yeah. Who is she playing? She's playing against Gibson, right? Okay.
Yeah.
She should get through that.
And we also have Nurlan's favorite, Katie Volinets, 3-0 up currently on Rebeka Shramkova.
Yeah. Who did you have winning that one?
Volinets Shramkova.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think it's again like I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think the winner was losing to Iga in the second round, but
Yeah, exactly. Like Shramkova, the problem is that she's played two matches this season, hasn't won one yet. Haven't really watched
Yeah.
her, so I don't know if the form has gone away or not. Volinets is Volinets, like she's solid and nothing else. So
yeah.
Shramkova would actually have like a
Those
one
super
in a
players.
million shot against Swiatek, but Volinets probably has like literally no chance.
Yeah.
It's not the type of
You
game
see
that
the
troubles
argument
Iga
for both.
generally.
Actually, Volinets is a slight favorite because she's more solid, but then Shramkova has the higher ceiling. So, just in the interest of a more exciting second round, I just sort of went with Shramkova, and also Billie Jean King Cup performances end of last year, but so far she has winless on the year. Although she played a very good match against Avanesian. Actually, it wasn't really that good. It was 3 sets, but it's not the worst loss.
Am I sounding pretty gloomy? Yeah, it's that Tsitsipas Michelsen match that's making me like this. Like when people ask about this, I'm just like, yeah. This is the one match about in the draw that I really don't wanna talk about or even think about. I will tune in actually, probably for some of it at the very least. So it's not like
What I
that.
like
But
about it so far is that we're seeing a lot of net play. So Mickelson, like you said, he's coming in on Stefanos' backhand. He's hitting some good volleys. Steph so far, we're only 2 games in, but so far it's it's a watchable match. Let's say.
I think Menchik is arguing about a potential net on the serve that wasn't spotted by the machine or the umpire. Well, I think he could be right, to be honest, but it's not much that we can do here. We have the scoreboard on court 12, so that's at least something. The winner of Basilashvili Menchik will play Kasper Ruud, and that is a potential good second round for either player, really, but I'd probably still rather see Menchik Ruud.
Ruud yesterday was good in the beginning, good in the end, horrible in the middle. So that's how I would assess his performance.
Yeah, can't really afford that against Menchik in the second round, potentially. But we'll see if Basilashvili maybe
Like for 3
decides
sets,
to
3 sets in that
turn it
match,
on
he
again.
looked like the Ruud. He looked like the Ruud post Roland Garros, between Roland Garros and ATP finals for 3 sets. And in the first and fifth, he looked a little bit better, like the first half that we got. So I don't know what to expect. Osaka has the worst draw of anybody on the WTA at this tournament. Like just horrible draw. If she gets through to the quarters, that would be amazing. If she gets to the 4th round, that's already amazing, actually.
She gets through to the 3rd round, beating Muchova. That's already great. I mean,
yeah.
You run into the danger of this as an unseeded player, but definitely it could have been much better still, even as an unseeded player.
I also went with Bencic beating Ostapenko, but who the hell knows with that one?
It's Ostapenko. I mean, it feels like she hasn't won a match in ages, which she kind of hasn't.
Lost 6 over last 7 or something.
Yeah.
Actually, since Wimbledon, she's been horrible. Since she made the quarters at Wimbledon, she's done literally nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, Vondrousova just withdrew. Okay. I mean, I didn't have her going very far, but
yeah, someone was asking me about like a potential huge upset for today, and Fed over Vondrousova was my answer, just because I didn't think she was healthy. But obviously, that doesn't count. I don't know who's the next in the lucky loser lineup, to be honest.
I still feel like Vondrousova might do something somewhere where we don't expect it, because it's an odd year.
I think Dart was definitely in the pool for the lucky loser spots. There were 2 more players. I don't remember who was there too. Someone has to play Janafet. It doesn't quite work like this. Well, Meshik has just broken. The pressure of his second serve return was pretty important here. Just rushing that first shot from Basiashvili, who, as Bolbashi as he is also a pretty heavy hitter and needs some of that time to produce his swing. And well, it's as good a start as Menchik could have hoped for. Obviously, he saved 2 breakpoints in the opening game. Yeah, I mean, Vondroushova retired last week. She had a shoulder injury, then she came back, hit 22 aces in her first match back, and then she retired in the second one. So yeah, while I'm not like fully aware of what exactly the nature of her physical condition is right now, still no lucky losers on the men's side, which is actually kind of surprising, but maybe we will actually get through the entire event without a single lucky loser. At this point, I mean, Opelka has played, Mahac has played. Kyrgios, I guess, is always a chance, but it seems like he will be playing.
No, sign me up for Opelka versus Mahac.
Yep, one of the best round twos for sure, yeah. How about Fonseca Wawrinka?
Yeah, but I think I went with Sonego. I don't think Wawrinka.
Yeah, I did, obviously. 40-year-old Stan doesn't really seem like he'll be winning best of 5 matches at this point in time. But who knows?
Yeah.
He did go like 3 decent sets with Koboli in Shanghai. He had this like brief revival in Stockholm, Basel. Just something, by the way, I randomly thought of the other day. Wawrinka and Stricker, they both had a Stockholm, Basel revival.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was like just before Stockholm that I was like, Wawrinka's gonna retire at Roland Garros next year, and then it came out. Then he had that run, which I think maybe changed his mind, or maybe he already thought he was gonna play a year or two longer.
Well, I thought he might retire in Basel at the end of the year because, I mean, he just wasn't getting any wins. But then suddenly there's that glimmer of hope. He plays a challenger as well, like kind of shows, yeah, he's still willing to try. Obviously, he's in the top 200, so that kind of helps, but still will be relying on a lot of wildcards this year if he is to continue on the main tour. I just don't think he's going to be like grinding challengers all year long. That's probably not happening. But yeah, it also doesn't seem like he's retiring at Roland Garros. I actually don't know where Stan should retire. Like, it's a pretty tough... one of the slams, I guess. One of the slams he's won. Kind of irrelevant which one, I guess. All of them make sense. Because otherwise...
because he won juniors there also, right? In 2003.
But that's not a big argument.
And then he made another final there, and then I feel like that's his best slam. So, and he's sort of French, like as much as he's Swiss. So,
well, he's sort of Lithuanian as well. I mean, kind of pushing it, but sure.
Looks like Menchik is running away with the set, huh?
Yeah, I mean, now it's just like errors. Well, we know Basilashvili won't play 3 great sets in a row against Menchik. It's just about whether he actually plays 3 great sets in general. And this has, at some point at least, it's just kind of erupting. Menchik is kind of hitting like as big as he is, and also using the pace that Basilashvili is giving him pretty nicely. So it is 5-1 already. Long point here, but there's like nothing that Basilashvili is doing is interesting here. So he's like just like spamming, heavy, powerful shots deep at Menchik, but with no angle. And Menchik is using the pace naturally, and yeah, it's 5-1 Menchik and serving. So looks like from an opening game that looked quite promising for the Georgian, we are now looking at a breadstick. I mean, how am I to know? Like, do we have the order of play for tomorrow? I'm not sure we do. So, well, first of all, I don't know when it is. And second of all, it's just going to be the same issues. It's a lot of matches at the same time. First days of a slam are really kind of unideal for watch-alongs, truthfully, because you just lose a lot. But this is kind of okay, So we'll see when Fonseca Rublev is scheduled. That's kind of the most important part here. So yeah, at this point in time, it's impossible for me to answer this.
Yeah. Oh, not many people are talking about Rinderknecht versus Tiafoe. How far do you have Tiafoe going in this tournament, by the way?
Losing to Fonseca? I don't know. Maybe beating Fonseca?
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I have him in the 4th round somewhere.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, normally I'd be picking Rinderknecht to beat him, but Arthur had a couple of horrible performances to start the year, so no thank you.
Yeah.
Well, there's some great serving from Menchik to clean up the set. 6-1 in 22 minutes. That changed quickly from the 2 breakpoints in the opening game. Lots of cheap slices from Stefanos so far. You are missing out. That actually means that, my eyes aren't going to bleed, so that's good.
Well, actually, this point at 15, or Tsitsipas serving at 2-3, he actually ripped a backhand cross court, got Michelsen way out of position, and then he misses the easy forehand. So now he's under pressure on his serve.
Am I suffering post-qualies depression? I don't know. But I did, regarding our fashion discussion, I decided to wear a gray blank shirt in order so that it represents my soul today.
Okay.
And that's it. That's my statement. I don't disagree, by the way, with the guy who put that comment, that like as a fashion designer, he thinks that every single choice we make, like literally coming to the wardrobe, that's already like an expression of something. I don't disagree with him. I watched Devil Wears Prada too, but I mean, yeah, it's just not me. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think there's literally a line in Devil Wears Prada where it's, or like a scene where they say exactly the same thing, because Anne Hathaway is like, I don't care about fashion, I'm just at the magazine, and I think maybe Stanley Tucci is explaining that to her, that like, whatever you're wearing right now, or maybe it's Meryl Streep, I don't know. Anyway, that's not too important right now. But definitely there's a scene like this, which is literally what the guy wrote.
Yes, as usual, John clipped that into a short.
Well, you did suggest that to him, sort of right away. I said like what I said, and Bunch is like, this might be a YouTube short.
Yeah. I wonder how many views it got.
I don't know. Well, we have Burrage against Zhang Zhang. Indeed, Zhang Zhang, I don't know if she's getting battered, but she is 2-4 down. Rus Danilovic, that's, I guess, pretty interesting. Olga was on a 10-match winning streak to end last year, but started the season with a loss. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna stick to Menchik Basiashvili for now. Not overly excited by any of the women's matches going on right now. So we'll see if Nico has something to show us today or not. If it keeps going like this, Basiashvili Menchik might be over in like an hour and a half, and I will have to switch to Tsitsipas Michelsen.
Yeah, this is my problem with the ball bashers like Nicholas. They just don't turn up some days, and then other days they're making the Indian Wells final.
Yes, Warna, Linette is. Radwanska is part of Linette's team. Yep. They haven't really had a good result yet with each other. I mean, I think Linette lost 6-1, 6-1 to who was that? It was a youngster. Maya joined just last week. But, maybe here. She does lead Uchijima, I think, so far. And who is Vondrousheva playing in the end? Do we know already? I don't know. I have to check on Twitter, I guess. She actually does live a pretty quiet life. I saw her a few times at events as well. So like she was at the Challenger in Sopot briefly, and she was just trying to really stay away from the crowd. Like I recognized her, but she had like sunglasses and a hoodie on with, basically trying to cover up. So yeah, I think she lives a pretty closed off life. Yeah.
Oh, that's Coco's second round opponent, right? Burrage or Jean-Jean.
Delray Beach champion ripping over him. It could happen at some point of his career. 2 finals in Newport so far, one in Winston-Salem. Both ATP 250s in the States. Delray Beach, another one, yeah.
By the way,
might
talk
be
about
easier for him in Dallas, maybe.
Talk about amazing tennis names. How about Jean-Jean? This is so much fun to say, huh?
Yeah, it's a decent one.
I can imagine a random American looking at it for the first time and going, Jean Jean.
They probably are. I don't remember some of these, but like recently I had this festival of mispronunciations in one on like a stream or whatever it was that I attended. But also I had a show with James today, and when he started calling Otto Virtainen, I was kind of laughing too. I don't know if John was laughing about the same thing on the producing gig, but it kind of seemed to me like he also started laughing at the same point. So maybe it was also about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mispronounce many tennis players' surnames too. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for non-tennis people, it's like really difficult. Like I had a friend this week who was like, "Who is Jannik Sinner?" And Iga Swiatek,
Yeah, I mean Świątek is definitely confusing for a foreigner, and that I understand. I'm wondering if Yannick is because obviously everybody knows Yannick with a Y, right? Like that's easy to pronounce for anybody. But if you see it with a J, I'm just wondering if it's like a popular surname or not. Sorry, first name.
Not really. I mean, unless you think he's Hispanic, then you could say Hanek.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't think that. But then even in Spain, like they actually say Nicolas Jarre or Jaume Munar, right? I don't understand why, because J is supposed to be an A, like an H, but no, they just say Jaume Munar or Nicolas Jarre. Why?
Yeah.
I still don't know. But
this is like the Goyotchik Jake of the WTA tour. This.
Oh, Kagla is horrible. Yeah, I know I'm mispronouncing that so hard. But I'm not even gonna try. Kagla is horrible. Yeah,
I can't say it.
Nightmare. Gojovczyk is pretty easy for me because it's of Polish origin, so I don't mind. It's not a popular surname here, but just the letter combinations are very obvious for me. I tweeted that thing again where it's like, who is playing for their first Grand Slam major win today? And someone commented, all these guys have a decent chance, and then there's Basov already. Yeah, kind of true. I mean, Dugas, I don't know if he has a decent chance. A friend of the show, kinda. But yeah, Basov already is looking a little out of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You pronounce it Andre Agassi or something. I mean, my parents pronounce it like that too.
That's purely because that's how everybody says it here. Like, there's definitely a lot of words, and especially like foreign names, surnames, or that I just pronounce, the way they are pronounced in Poland, which is wrong, because simply nobody knew how to say it back then. And then, sort of it goes on because everybody in the media is saying it like this. So you're going to hear it on TV 100 times. And then, these are just things that are going to get stuck in your head, basically.
Yeah. Actually, there's
For
one
some
that
countries, I have it too.
I sometimes don't say right and sometimes I do, which is Rybakina. Like, I don't know if it's Rybakina. Like, is it something in between? Like, you listen to the pronunciation on the WTA
The first
website.
pronunciation sounds a lot better to me. Like, it just rolls off the tongue a bit better, but I don't know.
Rybakina?
Yeah.
Rybakina instead of Rybakina, right?
Yeah. It's just way more Russian in terms of the accent, I think. But, don't shoot me. I don't know any Russian.
But if you listen to her pronounce it, she says Rybakina or like Elena Rybakina, and I just can't. Yeah. It's the accent.
The G silent? You mean in Andrei's name? No, it's just about, again, accent, like the intonation, really. So.
Yeah. Then of course there's the Spanish, the G and Z, like Muguruza, or actually TH with the Z, right? Alcaraz.
Yeah, but that's like it's one of these that doesn't really exist in any other language, so it's fine if you just say a normal Z there, I think. And it's the same with like Polish names, right? If someone says Frech instead of Fręch, I'm not gonna hunt them down. It's just not really a letter even that exists in any other alphabet. So especially as we don't tend to like bring these onto the tennis scene, right? We don't have these signs on the scoreboards. We don't have them in like official draws and etc. So it's perfectly fine, I think, in this case. There's a lot of that with the Czechs as well. Like I've been trying to say it right, like Kopšiva, Mahach, or whatever it is, the last there, but yeah, we usually just go for like simplified pronunciations, I guess. Or the H's instead of the G's in Dutch, like Griekspor, Grietminen, Dida de Groot. Well, we try our best. I think it's important to try, but if you aren't perfect, that's okay too. And it is Harriet Dart who is going to be replacing Vondroušová in the draw. So Dart against Fett. I have not been brushing up on my Portuguese. However, I started saying João or whatever, just not saying like in the past, João, or then just trying to say it a little bit more Portuguese-like. Mostly because of Fonseca, truth be told. Because back when like João Sousa was playing, I probably was just saying it straight up. And now we're going to be saying Fonseca's name a ton over the next 20 years. So I think it's better to kind of start trying at the very least. But yeah, my Portuguese is, of course, absolutely horrible. I mean, it doesn't exist, really. I can read basic sentences.
Between Steph and Alex has been completely serve-dominated. So that was Michelsen's fourth return point. All set.
Oh.
Tsitsipas has only won 6 as well, so not that much better.
So where are we? We are in the 4-5. Okay.
Yeah, but Michelsen won the first point. Steph missed a backhand, shocker. And now let's see. Oh wow, that was cutting it too close, but Steph hits that forehand approach, gets the winner.
Polo language course with 4 different levels of Portuguese. Okay. I mean, it's the same as Spanish, right? The grammar is the same, the syntax is the same. It's just different words. It is tougher to pronounce though. So that, yeah, from that perspective, yeah, for sure. But
Okay,
like
that
if
was
you know,
an
if you
example
know if you know Spanish, you will learn Portuguese in no time, I think.
Michelsen gets that cross-court backhand return on the first serve to Steph's backhand, and Steph just has no time on it whatsoever, and you can probably guess it's a mishit. And now he's under pressure. 30-all second serve. Oh, what a second serve.
At 30-all.
Yep. So game point.
All right. Basiashvili is holding up a bit better in this set. 2-1 up so far. He was serving first, obviously, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So nice ace to close out the game. So 5-all. Neither player has been pushed to deuce on their serve yet. So it looks like we might be headed for a tiebreak.
Yeah, I might turn on the tiebreak when it's going to be happening. If it does land in the tiebreak. When they played in Tokyo, was there a tiebreak? I don't think so, right? It was like 4-6, 6-1, 6-2 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. No tiebreak there. I'm going to see if I can switch over to Coco Kenin for a little bit.
Yeah, that's starting already as well, alongside Tomljanovic Kruger on the main courts. Coco and Sofia are stuck in the first game. Australian Open champion. Only one of them is, and that's Sofia Kenin. But maybe Coco Gauff will be this year.
Yep, and the head-to-head is 2-1 in favor of Kenin. Both of her wins coming in the slams. Wimbledon 2023, and also en route to that title in 2020 Australian Open.
Oh, really? I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah,
I mean, Wimbledon, yeah, I remember that one, but at the time, I guess it just didn't feel as huge yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really nice backhand pass from Steph down the line as well.
He needs to hire a grip expert.
Well, he needs
who's
to
gonna
hire
teach him to play with 2 hands?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think some things are just not fixable.
Yeah.
I kind of don't expect the backhand to ever improve. So I kind of just I want to see the serve and forehand get back to pre 2024 level.
I think Riley Opelka said recently that Steph has the best forehand on tour.
Well, he did at one point. You could actually make that argument. You can't anymore. I mean, now it's like not even top 5. I mean, last year it was very mediocre for his standards.
Yeah, I remember being very down on this. Like, I didn't know that Opelka said something like this, but I remember being very down just in general on the opinion that Steph's forehand is so good. But honestly, yeah, Wimbledon, that Wimbledon run 2 years ago already, I kind of felt it. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. That actually stacks up.
I think he has
like,
the
okay,
best.
Maybe not the best, but at least among the best.
I think he has a really good forehand inside in. Like, that's the one forehand of his that I love. But the others, no, I'd probably be picking Alcaraz or Sinner or even Djokovic over him. So.
Hadi Habib. He saved a match point in the qualifying for head inside in. Never mind.
Maybe Joe Fonseca will be in that conversation soon.
Otto
or Arthur Feast. Arthur Feast, just because of the heaviness and the. Well,
I was just thinking about inside ins, by the way, when I was saying Otto Virtanen or Hadi Habib.
Oh no, then it's probably him and Rafa.
Rafa isn't a player anymore.
Yeah.
Rafa is a qualifier now. Now I'm just laughing because there was this Ilya Marchenko video years back when he basically was interviewing players in Nonthaburi, and he was asking, "Are you a player or a qualifier?" And I guess he was just trying to show like the double standards of, how they're treated.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone's interested, Olafia Aine is playing a UTR tournament in Newport Beach next week.
Wow.
For $20,000. And he's
Yeah,
the number 2
Ivashka
seed.
played an UTR this week. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, but he's the number 2 seed, and
Who's number 1?
yeah, I don't know actually. I'll look it
Is
up.
this the one where like Colton Smith is playing as well? And no, that was this week, I think.
I can find it probably on Flash Score. It's a 15K, I think, or
UTRs aren't on Flash Score, I don't think.
Okay, then I might just have to go on their website.
But yeah, Ivashka was playing a UTR. He won 4 matches and lost 1 to a guy with a 2-handed forehand. I don't think you're gonna find UTRs on Flash Score, yeah, but I think I saw an entry list of that INE ITF, but I might be wrong. If it's the one I'm thinking of, that was with Colton Smith, Jay Friend, a lot of collegians generally.
You can definitely live stream this.
Yeah.
Players, let's look at this. Oh, Omni Kumar is the number 1 seed. Okay.
Omni Kumar? No,
that
that wasn't the entry list that I was watching then.
Number 2 seed Olafia, number 1 seed Omni. And this is based on UTR rather than ranking, of course. Elijah Strode. I played this guy in juniors, Elijah. Lost in 3 sets.
Elijah Strode or who?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his brother as well, Isaiah, is 5 and 6 seed. Jacob Brom as well.
I remember playing him. I think in 22.
Yeah. Basically, we were texting each other about meeting again in San Diego, but he's like, if I lose on Saturday, I'm coming to San Diego. But if I don't, then I'm going to be staying in Newport.
By the way, the question from Swarnader, what do you think about the cancellation of the San Diego tournament?
Well, I'm a little bit sad about the WTA 500. I wish they could have found a different time in the calendar to hold the tournament, basically. But ATP 100 challengers is not bad for that slot. I think that would be fun.
Vansh, what's happening in that Tsitsipas Michelsen clash?
Well, Tsitsipas just hit 2 pretty bad volleys, and now he's down set point, and it's a second serve.
Yeah, I guess it's more on the drive though.
And that was really good from Michelsen right there. So he takes that first set, he steps into the backhand return, gets it pretty deep. Nothing Steph can do with that backhand, and then backhand on the line from Michelsen. Also, people know that to keep hitting backhands down the line against Steph, keep him guessing. And Michelsen did a good job of that whenever he got looks on Tsitsipas' serve in the first set. Because Steph just camps on the ad side. So he's like kind of expecting everything to go to his backhand. But then if you give him that forehand down the line and you just lean into it, all of a sudden now he's going to have to cover a lot of ground to defend the forehand. And then how in the world is he going to do anything from the backhand wing? So honestly, the tactic is super clear when you're playing Steph right now. And it's just the list of players who can execute it has just grown over the years.
Especially with how the game is kind of like shaping up and what sort of youngsters we're getting, what sort of youngsters are breaking through. Yeah, I kind of have a personal prediction, and that is that Tsitsipas is going to lose. I'm going to be writing up a tweet on that, and then I'll just stop and I'll delete it because what can you really write at this point, Yeah, he played okay, but yeah, his backhand sucks and he couldn't return. So, yeah, it's just very tough to say anything.
When you have one really weak wing like this, it also puts so much pressure on the rest of your game that it's like he has to now have an unbelievable serve and forehand day to withstand these young guys. And
yeah, on quicker courts, definitely. That's how he wins on quicker courts, by just having an incredible serve forehand day, and on slower courts by being all rounded. versatile.
And I also don't know whether he really believes in himself like he used to. Like I feel like that belief is kind of gone the last couple of years.
Understandably, yeah. I mean, the results aren't coming. You
can see the way he gushes about Alcaraz, or the way he kind of talks about the rivals.
Yeah.
It seems like that is not the Steph of 2019 to 2021 when he was beating the big three.
He should say, Alcaraz did well to prevail with the few tools he has.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. He is also in the camp that doesn't think he's going to win a slam. People are actually arguing here, whether Stefanos can still win a slam or not. And Steph is like, no, I won't. This might be going on in his head too. Basilashvili definitely doing a lot better here. There was this fantastic point when he was like exploding into this backhand open stance, and there was no chance for Menchik to really catch it, but Menchik saves the breakpoint, and we are at 3 games all in the second. Big reaction from the Czech with a clenched fist. Knows this was an important game.
Yeah, by the way, Kenin is competing pretty hard, and she's going after the Gauff second serve, but she's now under trouble because Coco held, but it was a very competitive first game. And it's exactly the kind of game that makes you think it'll have a carryover effect in the next game. And don't take your chances. But break point down.
Love how Talking Tennis has people on the stream that played someone. Yeah, I mean, I played John Silk twice. Played my dad. A lot of stars. Anyway, yes, he did say that about Rublev, Jake, after the ATP Finals match.
He did, yeah.
Jesus, Kruger down the break, and I'm like, Mitch is playing Hijikata already? And that's Ashlyn. Yeah,
Ashlyn Kruger was my dark horse for this tournament.
I mean, down the break on the WTA especially doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, I think I had her getting to the 4th round and then losing to Zhang.
Is that a dark horse?
Yeah, she's unseeded. She's like 54 in the world.
A certain person in the Talking Tennis community was trying to argue that Joao Fonseca cannot be a dark horse for the slam. But yeah, it all depends on your definition, obviously.
He's a qualifier.
He's a qualifier. He's outside the top 100. He hasn't played a best of 5 set match yet outside the next gen finals.
Yep, easy hold from Michelsen to start the second set.
If the Australian Open was held in the fast 4 format, how would you rate Fonseca's chances against Rublev today?
Very high.
Tomorrow, I mean, but yeah.
Even higher.
Yeah, I think he'd be the favorite.
But I rate his chances tomorrow too. I mean, I picked him to win. So
I did pick him to win as well. But honestly, I didn't do it. I just thought, why not? I'm doing this for fun anyway. Fun is when Fonseca wins. Of course, I didn't pick him to the title, but I did pick him to the 3rd or 4th round. If he wins his opener, I think he's going to be fine. Didn't he play Sonego in Bucharest last year? I think I might have done commentary on that match.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it was 7-6, 7-5 or something like that.
Yeah, so he made the quarters of that in Rio, right? So
yeah.
I wonder if he'll play the Golden Swing again this year.
I think so. I mean, there's no reason not to really.
Might be able to pick up a couple of titles.
Couple titles?
Yeah, I mean, no?
At the Golden Swing already? Wow. I mean, that's...
aren't there... I mean, it's not that strong of a field, is there?
I mean, yeah, but a couple of titles? Wow.
I mean, he could win Santiago. He could win... what's the other 250? He could even win Rio. I mean, why not win Rio?
Right? I think you're going to have him in the top 10 at the end of the year, not the top 50.
No, I think I have him somewhere like 30-ish.
I mean,
But
he's
honestly,
winning
like,
2 titles in the
like some
Golden
people
Week,
have
and
him in the top
I don't
10.
think he's gonna be 30-ish.
Because like what like I look at Sinner in 2020, right? Sinner finished 37, but that was the COVID year, so he could have probably finished higher. Like,
I actually had Landalusa beating Tsitsipas too, Ghosty, in the second round. Great minds think alike, but it could be Alex. Why not? Thoughts on Layal's draw in Oeiras? It's pretty tough. I mean, opening round, I think he plays a qualifier, so we don't know yet. But second round, it's Kovacevic or Drax, and that's kind of all you need to know, I think. Of course, this week in Oeiras is much more tricky. There's a lot of players returning from Australian Open qualifying, including Layal, including Kovacevic. I don't know how good Kova is going to be at the moment. I think Layal can definitely beat him if they play, but still, it's not ideal. But most of that draw is pretty tough. Like,
yeah.
Hamad could honestly just win this pretty easily if he's fit, but I don't know how much he's going to have in the tank. And he is facing Shelby, which has been a troublesome matchup for him in the past. And considering that Rincon really pushed him last week, that's kind of the same game, Rincon and Shelby. So
okay, this has been tricky so far for Coco on serve. So she has to face another break chance.
just realized that Blake was asking about Layal's draw, and I just started talking about the draw in general, really. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, Kovacevic or Drax second round. I expected Hamad to be a top 50 player by this time. I mean, I think everybody did, but there's no harm done yet if he is going to be able to get there this year, and it looks very possible. You know, he's still just 21.
Okay, a couple of double faults from Coco. Kenin is like really pressuring that second serve. Playing some good tennis so far. Okay, this is a little bit of an opening for Steph here. Michelsen making a couple of those errors, and now it's 30 all.
Siashvili holding on despite a low 30 deficit he had in this game. So the second set is looking, well, quite crucial, obviously, for him to win it. And so far, he's doing his part, at least, in terms of holding.
Tsitsipas furious with himself because once again he's on the stretch on the backhand and he goes for that slice, but it's just so awkward. His feet aren't planted. He's like trying to slice it from way up shoulder high. And like, yeah. That was not great.
Is Raducanu's coach highly rated? Who the hell is Raducanu's coach right now? Like, I kind of lost track.
I forgot her name. I mean, I forgot his name, but it's like some Japanese dude, right? Hold on, I can find that. Raducanu's coach. I mean, Raducanu's coach changes like every 3 weeks, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I lost track of it, to be honest. I'm finding some articles, but like from 2024.
It is Yutaka Nakamura.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's her fitness.
That's a fitness
Yeah,
trainer.
yeah. Never mind. Oh, I actually don't know that.
I mean, is it still Nick Cavaday? I don't know. Could be.
Maybe.
Wilajovic beat Kecmanovic on a hard court. Kecmanovic is priced as a pretty big favorite there. I mean, I don't really disagree, but Kecmanovic at the same time, you know what kind of tennis he plays. Like, just super solid, pretty boring, and he's not going to put that much pressure on Lajovic. So maybe that's actually a matchup where like Dusan can do something on a hard court. just simply because he's gonna have the time to like play out the points and everything. So maybe, but of course Kecmanovic is the better hardcourt player. Just like in general, I'm just not sure the matchup is gonna be that pleasant for him. So it might be a bit of a struggle.
Dusan Lajovic, the last player to beat Yannick Sinner in straight sets. 2023 Cincinnati.
Probably the last outside the top 50 as well to beat him.
Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah, he's the last outside the top 20. My bad. Because
Even
actually
20.
Djokovic beat him 3-3 in the ATP finals.
Yeah, in the ATP finals.
So yeah.
So even outside the top 20, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he lost to Shelton in Shanghai and Shelton, Shanghai really. Because he won Beijing, then lost that, and then he pulled out of Paris.
Well, this is a key breakpoint for Nicolas Basilashvili at 4-3. Finds a lot of time to set up that huge return at Menchik's forehand. That's gonna be dropping wide as the Czech was trying to take it right off the bounce, and this is a breakpoint that potentially could give Basilashvili a chance to serve for the second set.
Yeah, by the way, Coco with 4 double faults so far in 2 service games, and Kenin has broken back. So this opener is, interesting so far.
Does not put the return in play on breakpoint, but of course not really his fault for the most part. There was a lot of pace on that first serve from Menchik, as was on the ace that he just hit.
No, Basilashvili had a breakpoint, right?
Yeah.
To go up 5-3.
Yeah.
So what happened on the breakpoint?
I was just talking about that.
Wasn't this thing?
Well, your problem. No, I mean unreturned serve at his forehand.
Okay.
He almost got it over the net.
Cool.
Still, when I see you guys talking about Kruger, I instantly think of Mitch. I'm sorry, Ashland, but you're gonna have to work really hard to become the default Kruger in my mind. At least Mitch is also in this event, so it kind of tracks. Maybe if he wasn't, I would be like, yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about. But since he's also in the event, for now at least.
All right, so still on serve in the Michelsen Tsitsipas match. Let's see if Steph can do something on the return. He's finally moving back on the second serve return, which I don't know why he doesn't just do that all the time, but and he moves back, but Michelsen goes ace T. And yes, it does hit the line. So what looked like it was going to be a double fault and be love 30 is now 15-all. And it's 2-all in Gauff versus Kenin. So they've played 25 minutes already. 4 longish games.
That's longer than the Basilashvili Menchik first set. The first set of Kim van Rijthoven in the qualifying lasted 18 minutes.
Oh yeah, I did this show with John today about Iga's paths to possible Australian Open glory. And I think both of us didn't have her actually winning the tournament, but we said that she would lose to either. Oh god, I think John had her losing to Rybakina in the semis. I said she would lose to the winner of Arena and Coco in the semis. And I picked Coco. So
I think there was a question right about this like 30 minutes ago, and I forgot to answer it. Who are my finalists on the women's draw? Yeah, I just think it's going to be the winner of Sabalenka Gauff winning the title. I don't really mind who's on the other side of the net in the final. I don't remember who I have, Świątek or Rybakina in the final. I guess Świątek, maybe.
I think you went with Ego when we did the pod.
Okay, yeah. Then definitely I had Świątek then. Yeah, I mean, either way, 2023 repeat is fine too. I mean, there's just clearly there's a clear top 4 at the moment on the women's side for me. I will be very surprised if one of these 4 players doesn't win the title. If we have a similar story like last year, so like Sabalenka and Gauff are both playing very, very well, but not necessarily the case with Rybakina and Świątek, then we might get another story as well like this. So like the winner of the semifinals, they get into the final, they get a lopsided matchup there. Wow, that's a crazy volley from Basilashvili to save a breakpoint at 4-all. This was looking pretty bleak for him when Menchik was very quick on that backhand pass, but well, he saves himself with a lot of grace.
By the way, Coco so far, not looking that sharp. 12 on 4 serves on the so far, 4 on the forehand. A couple of those old forehands in this game. It's scratchy, but
maybe going 5-0 at the United Cup is a curse. You then run into Melbourne and you're looking like, I don't know, like you just can't adjust your timing.
Well, I mean, different conditions for sure.
I don't know if anybody went 5-0 at the United Cup in 23. Probably not.
What about Pegula?
I think she might have lost a match in the group stage, but I might be wrong on that. I know, but like, I mean, the United States was barely losing rubbers there, right? So maybe not, but
yeah.
I thought she lost a rubber to somebody.
I know that Fritz lost to Nori, so he wasn't perfect.
Yeah, now Pegula lost to Kvitova against the Czech Republic.
Oh, Kvitova, yeah. What's happening with her? She's not coming back right now. I mean, she had a child, I know that, but
Madison Keys actually went 5-0 at the United Cup that year.
Oh, yeah.
That was not going to be my guess, but kudos to her.
I have her reaching the semis of this tournament. I have her beating Rybakina in the 4th round. Oh, deuce.
5 for Basilashvili. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a strategy. Last year we were picking Madison Keys to do well at every slam. It never like fully backfired, but it also never gave us great results.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
John, it's the same deal as today. Like, I have no idea at which time I'll be sleeping. And today it turned out that during the rain delays, I just got a lot of sleep in. So I knew already at like 11 a.m. our time that I will be available. Whereas tomorrow, I don't know. I'm not one of these people who is gonna, basically go to sleep because they have work tomorrow or something. This is my work. So everything is about tennis. So can't be sure at all.
I just got a message from a friend. Never thought I'd be rooting for Steph to win, so that he could maybe give Sinner a tough time later.
Yeah, no shot. I'm sorry. The default Kruger is Freddy. That's true, Ghost Steve. I don't know. I guess I'm not too big on A Nightmare on Elm Street as a franchise.
No,
Like
no,
I like
it's
maybe like 3
definitely
or 4 movies, sure. Especially the meta one, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but I was never really a big fan, so maybe that's why I'm not defaulting to Freddy Krueger. But yeah, fair point.
okay. Sramkova is up a break against Voynich in the second set. And we also have a tie break between Schneider and Cocciaretto. I bet $200 on Tsitsipas. Oh, yeah.
Is that
That's
okay?
rough.
No, you should go to rehab.
So harsh, man.
I mean, that's kind of true, though, right? I don't know. Maybe he's going to win, but probably should rethink your decisions. Yeah, sure. That's also a fair point. I mean, I just don't think the odds represented any value pre-match. But maybe he'll win. I don't see what sort of thoughts I would have. Like, I'm not too interested in like guessing whether Iga will be winning in the same final or the same semi-final. Like, it's not really in my control. Like, Grand Slam qualifying predictions are fun because you only have 3 matches. Whereas here is just like one poor performance, one choke from somebody, and like the bracket is ruined. So I don't really care about brackets. And it's not really up to me whether Świątek is gonna beat Rybakina this time in the semis or not. Clearly, she is not gonna be like as outmatched against Elena as she was in 2023, when it really felt like she has no chance on these courts. Right now, it looks better. She did play a very good like 1.5 sets tactically in the United Cup semi, so that's good. But yeah, she's not the favorite right now over Sabalenka or Gauff, but they might also this might change during the course of the event. When it comes to her reaching that round, I mean, you throw her in against a peaking Alexandrova or a peaking Kalinskaya, and she might get in trouble. But you don't really know if these players will be at that sort of quality on the day. I mean, it's just completely random.
Yeah, what I did say was that if Iga doesn't get to the semis, then it's like a failed tournament. So
yeah, it kind of is because of all the third rounds, fourth rounds, quarterfinals, even. But a quarterfinal loss can be okay. But if it's like the loss to Pegula at the U.S. Open, then I mean, yeah, just absolutely zero like change up during the match. You just come out, and the same way you lost the first point, you lose every single one all the way to the last. Like that's not acceptable for her. I'm sure she doesn't want to lose like this anymore. And yeah, if that's happening again, like in the third round, in the fourth round, she's lining up against a peaking, powerful, flat-hitting opponent, and she can't problem solve her way out of that. She won't be satisfied with this, obviously. There's nothing wrong with losing to Rybakina in the semis or Sabalenka Gauff in the final, though. If Coco loses tonight, how would that rank for all-time round 1 slam upsets? Pretty high, actually.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't care that she lost round 1 at Wimbledon to Kenin, because this is a very different situation right now.
Yeah, right now it looks like she still might win ugly. I mean, it's ugly, but so far, no, this hasn't been the kind of tennis she played at the United Cup, and that's okay. It's the first round.
Sabalenka losing to Stevens would have been a bigger upset.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty much the same
Coco
for me.
Shows off her great speed. She gets to that drop shot, and she does break. So as much as I was talking about her not playing that well, she's up 4-2. So that's kind of Coco Gauff for you. Sometimes the eye test doesn't quite match the score, and well, that is actually one of her strengths. So that was definitely a good game for Coco to win because Kenin was really dictating there. Tsitsipas, is this first love 30? For the first time in the whole match, Tsitsipas has a love 30 on Michelsen serve.
You say that as if they've played 100 games or something like that.
I mean, it's been a set and a half, so a chunk of games. Like usually by now, you would think.
I wonder
who's
how
level-
often actually you go low 30. Yeah. Interesting. We'd have to check the stats. Maybe you're right.
Okay, let's see. This is going to be. When. Oh, Krejcikova. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was last year. I do remember that stream, Jake.
Yeah, I don't remember the details, but I do remember you enjoying it a lot. Since Basilashvili is about to go up 6-5, I decided to turn it on for a few points. That's Tsitsipas Michelsen stream. And what I've seen so far is not really changing my mind about how this has been going.
Oh yes, John, this is true for this year and the year before, right? But in 2023, that's not the case because Rybakina made the final and she won Wimbledon the year before.
For your 2025 Australian Open health on the women's side. Yeah, I mean, it's also been two pretty random champions, right? So that probably also has some sort of a relevance in it. Like both Vondroushova and Krejcikova, they basically did nothing all year and won Wimbledon. Like that's kind of their seasons.
Yeah, they both still made the WTA finals, but that was basically because of winning Wimbledon.
Yeah, Vondroushova.
Well, I would say actually Vondroushova, I think she had a few more results. She made the US Open.
The rule wasn't in yet, but still, like she had about 50% of her points from winning Wimbledon. Krejcikova had like 75% of her points from winning Wimbledon. So there is a correlation like this too.
Maybe Muchova will win it this year, and then we'll complete the trio.
Yeah, it should be Muchova now. Yeah, it's true. Jabber should have won in 23. Well, she is the better player on grass, I think, but she did play pretty horribly on the day. By far the worst of her 3 Grand Slam finals, by far the most nervy.
Yeah.
And that was also after beating Rybalenka and Sabakina. So Rybalenka and Sabakina, yeah. Sabalenka and Rybakina.
Yeah, no, she had a very good. Actually, both the players who beat, like both Svitolina and Jabeur, like they did not play well against Vondrousova. So, but they had really good tournaments before that.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized I'm still watching Tsitsipas Michelsen. Something is luring me into that stream. But I do have to catch Menchik, who is now serving at 5-6 down, and it is getting tricky. So Basilashvili is definitely holding up fine here. I just tend to think he needs this set to survive.
Michelsen is just so confident. Like he knows exactly what he needs to do. You know, second serve, I'm just going to approach the backhand, just going to crush it, come forward, put away an easy volley.
Yeah, I saw that point. This match is looking pretty pessimistic. I don't know. It's just looking pretty bleak for Tsitsipas. It's exactly what you were expecting, but at the same time, you know, usually there's that Melbourne boost. Maybe he's still gonna find the win. We'll see, but I'm not seeing this Melbourne boost.
Sometimes I've seen Steph come out and play lethargic, but I don't think that was the case for like the first 10 games. You know, they were very even. It's just It's like that. Those two volleys that he missed at 5-6 when he was serving to force a tiebreak. That like really cost him.
Yeah, but I guess the worst part is that like he just doesn't have anything to impress with. Because if one of your shots is getting targeted this much, then I guess, as you said, it's just putting pressure on all the other parts of his game, and there's nothing there that like is really taking the game, into his own favor, like whatever. Then,
Right now, he kind of has to hope for an off-service game for Michelsen, or he just like gets that one opening, like the love 30 that he got in the first game, and then Michelsen misses his first serve. Like he's very reliant on the opponent's level to drop right now, which is not a good feeling because you want to feel like you're in control, and right now he has zero control.
His serve and forehand are good, but they're not just gonna win him this much suddenly.
He needs a little bit extra for sure. There's also that question with best of 5 from Michelsen. Has he ever won a 5-setter?
I mean, if it's gonna be this quick, then I'm fine with him. I think in the best of 5. It's not like this has been a physical match, right?
Precisely. That's kind of the problem, Jake. That those two shots are kind of they're not threatening in any way, and then he's kind of screwed for the set.
Like if you gave him a Del Potro forehand right now, like things would feel very different, because that's literally a shot that can win you matches just by itself. And
but then Del Potro also had the he had to have the other shots to set it up. Like he had the really good slice, in 2018. He had like a really good drive backhand. Like he was very complete off of both wings. Whereas Tsitsipas is just not complete off of both wings at all.
Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, he'd at least be able to like kill a rally from neutral or something like that, and that's not really happening for him in this match at all.
This volley was tricky. I mean, he approaches the Michelsen backhand. Okay, but then he doesn't do enough with this volley. Michelsen goes for the lob over his head, and then just wins the point outright on the pass. So now it's break point for Alex and basically virtual set point. So Tsitsipas really needs a first serve here. And no, that's going to be way long. Okay. That was a more confident point, and then the forehand really stood out there. But he also hit a pretty good backhand down the line there, just kind of let it rip. So it was a good save.
Well, Menchik tried to go for a big second serve, 2-3 down in the breaker, and missed it. Not sure about the idea there, but it does give Basilashvili a mini break. He has been flirting with the idea of taking this set most of it, so most of its duration, let's say. And definitely now Basilashvili has a real shot at taking this set 5-2 up with 2 mini breaks as well. Not gonna get a better opportunity here. He's sort of like cross-court, huge forehand exchanges. They should be better for him.
That was a very good drop shot from Michelsen. Once again, it's a backhand down the line that really set it up. But I didn't like that Steph didn't even run for that drop shot. He just gave up on this point. Like he gets his forehand, and I'm thinking, okay, good disguise right there. But you should be running up here, and he just stops. He starts running, and then like doesn't even bother chasing it down. So I gotta wonder where his belief will be at if he loses this game. I mean, is he gonna have it in him to come back from 2 sets?
2 comebacks from 2 sets to love down yesterday. Kei Nishikori and Quentin Willis.
Yeah, second serve, and this does not look good right now for Steph. He gets a forehand on the plus on the first shot, but he actually doesn't do that much with it. Michelsen counters it cross court, and then Steph shanks the forehand.
So that's break?
Yeah, Michelsen would serve for a 2-set lead. Yeah, I mean, Steph definitely was one of the players I had on upset alert, but I just figured somehow if he gets through Michelsen, then
He's
I thought
gonna
there was
lose
a
to
path,
Landaluce.
but then I didn't really. Yeah, so it was
I think
kind
I
of for me. It
picked
was
him
like
to
it
lose
was
to
first round. We'll
Landaluce.
get, and then I kind of was like, okay, he tends to overperform in Australia, so that might happen one time this year. If you're looking at a hardcore event, it's either
It's just
that or Cincinnati. He usually has it's either Australian Open or Cincinnati where he like overperforms, and then the rest of the year he's kind of like.
Yeah, I don't
50.
feel like he did it at any point last year.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, he only made one semifinal on hardcourt, and that was the 250 in Los Cabos. So
There was
then
the
I don't think he
quarter
made
in
anything.
Paris, which was kind of
Yeah.
depressing as well from his perspective, given how the Zverev match
Yeah.
looked.
Yeah.
Well, Basilashvili with 3 set points, and the first one is already quite a long rally, and he finds the backhand down the line. Jesus Christ, that actually might be his best shot of the match to take the set. So yeah, he's got what he wants. He's back at one set. Oh, the first one lasted 22 minutes, and the second one was 58, which is still pretty quick for a 7-6 set. But either way, Basilashvili is leveling with Menchik now. And yeah, I mean, I don't think Michelsen's fatigue, like, physicality should be a concern. It's
No,
1
it's
hour.
not going to be a concern because
hour.
these sets were quick.
Yeah, you could have one set that lasts 77 minutes. A lot of the time they do.
And that was an easy hold. So that was only 38 minutes, 39 minutes for the first set. He's barely being pushed on his serve. So
yeah, Ghosty, but we're kind of ignoring Clay in our consideration. Like, yeah, when the Clay season rolled around last year, Steph was right back in the top 5.
He's a top 5 player. In fact, I remember Gil Gross like making him like, because we were so unknown about Alcaraz and Sinner, he was like the favorite going into Roland Garros for some people.
I mean, yeah,
crazy. But
everybody was saying this, that like, there was the group of unknowns, which was Djokovic, which was Alcaraz, which was Sinner, and then there was the group that was actually the best during that Clay season. So Rud, Rublev,
Tsitsipas,
Zverev, yeah. And then it just, suddenly we just realized by the time this event is kind of getting into the third round, fourth round, that even 80% Sinner and Alcaraz are far better than Dimitrov, Tsitsipas, Rud, Zverev. So yeah. But yeah, absolutely. The last French Open was like the most open ever. At the same time, it actually wasn't. But we thought that it might be. I mean, yeah, but he's also got a lot more tools to avoid being rashed in that backhand corner. Like, look at how he returns Dave on clay courts. On the second serve, he's just gonna stand so far back and hit everything off the forehand, basically. So he's just got a lot more time and tools to avoid even like hitting that backhand. And even if he does have to hit it, then indeed.
So far, actually, I mean, the thing is, he has been going back on the second serve return, so I can't really criticize him for that. I've been pushing for him to do that on hard courts as well. He did that in 2023, but right now, like, Michelsen sees that and he's like, okay, I'll serve and volley. Okay, it's probably going to land short.
It's not going to give you the same
so
results.
it doesn't have any of the same effect as it does on clay, where he's just, where like at times in Monte Carlo, his backhand looked like a strength. So it was like a weapon for him, actually, whereas here it's a total liability. And
doubt he's tweaked anything about his backhand, Sean, for years. I would say that.
Yeah, it's kind of been the same. Actually, it's gotten worse. If you look at 2019, 2020, and he was hitting through it better. So
it's a dead shot, basically, for the past few years. Yeah, depressing is a good word to describe that Tsitsipas performance so far, I think. Because it's not like he's even playing. It's not like he's playing poorly, right? It's just, once again, the weakness is getting exploited, and there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, and also Michelsen is a really good opponent to take advantage because, like I was saying, he just goes backhand on the line very often, and he's so good at that shot. So anybody who has a very good backhand line and cross, like Michelsen, like both directions, and they're just unpredictable with it, that makes it even harder for Steph. Like, yeah, Gil just tweeted something like, "You can't do it this." Tsitsipas' best offense is getting the ball hard into a righty backhand, cheating left for the cross court, getting the run around forehand. You can't do it against Michelsen because he is too unpredictable on that backhand directionally, and he can't go line off of any ball. And he can go line off of any ball. So, yeah, it's kind of what we're seeing. Like the games that he got broken. I mean, especially the 3-4 game. The backhand down the line was pretty big, and then yeah, there's just nothing you can really do to hurt Alex right now. So I don't know what you tell Steph if you're his coach, like in this changeover, like just fight harder, like make more first serves, like.
If you're playing, if you're relying on hitting so many shots from the left side of the court as Steph is, like you also have to be so quick to cover that forehand corner. Maybe that's also something that's not looking quite as impressive as it was before.
That's true, yeah. And on clay, it looks so much better because you can like slide into it. Like it's coming slower, so it's like just shooting through the court, super fast, super flat, super low, and it's just bothering him.
Yeah, and here he's just not really able to make the adjustment when that line shot happens.
And he's actually putting quite a lot of air under his backhand. Like he's really rolling over it, but again, like it's almost hurting him because he has more RPM on that shot. Like he has more RPM by far than Michelsen, but it's not doing anything on these fast courts. It's not getting it above Michelsen's strike zone. It's not. I mean, Michelsen is a tall guy, strong shoulders, like 6'5". It's not going to bother him.
Part of me wants to say he looks clueless, and he does, but at the same time, I'm not really sure with his skill set, like anyone so far would have looked anything different but clueless. I don't know. It's definitely something that like I don't wish on him, and it is depressing.
Yeah. Gil's takes are generally pretty good. I mean, I don't agree with like 100% of them, but in general, I feel like he's a good observer. So I like his tweets. He's also starting to cover some more challengers now. I think he's going to be in Arizona, calling the matches there. He was already there last year as well.
He was there last year, so yeah. All right.
So Schneider is up a double break in the second set. She did win that tie break as well. And yeah, Coco looks pretty good after the first 6 games. Looking more like the Coco that won the United Cup. I wonder if this match looks a little bit different if it's at night versus the day. A little bit slower, maybe a little bit harder to rush Steph. Maybe in like a atmosphere he's more comfortable in. But overall, I think the complexion of the match would still be the same. It wouldn't like cover up the weaknesses or anything.
Crazy lucky net court for Basiashvili at 30 all. He wins the point.
Oh, he does pickleball? I didn't know that. Well, actually, he might not. Might be just some good. It's good money on the side, I guess. And he probably doesn't have to learn a whole ton because
maybe it's just for the.
So you don't need to learn. It's just probably it becomes very easily to him. It's like it's like going from a sport to a game. Much easier.
I mean, you could probably wing it at like a pickable commentary thing, but just in general, I think there's still elements of it that you're not going to be able to call right with zero experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a learning curve in the beginning, but it's can't be anything like playing a tennis match in terms of all those details and stats and all of this. I mean, pickleball has only been around for what, like 3 years, 4 years, maybe. I mean, maybe probably even less on the professional tour. Maybe only 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play pickleball or watch pickleball or commentate on pickleball. But I don't know if I'm as harsh on it as Vash is here.
Actually, I was having a conversation with Lafia about this. I was like, "What do you think about pickleball? Like, what are your thoughts?" And he was like, "Actually, it's funny you ask because I got an offer from, you know, from someone in pickleball, like Lay Waters or something. I don't know if you know who that is." But she was like, basically you can join the pickleball tour and we'll pay you 150 grand like right away for the first year. And it's like guaranteed money. And so it looked enticing at first because for a guy who's floating around in the 400s, losing money every year, not even breaking even, it seems like, this is something I could do. And he'd probably pick it up very quickly, especially with how his game style is in tennis anyway, right? But he thought about it and he's like, okay, I'll give it one more year and then I'll see how it goes. So,
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's exactly the point for a lot of these guys who went the pickleball route. And yeah, when you put it like this, in fact, I'm pretty surprised he didn't say yes.
I was too. I mean, like, I was like, okay. I mean, why didn't you say yes? I think he still believes in his potential. He kind of knows how high his ceiling is. He was talking about the match he played against Lerner and how he should have beaten Lerner Tien. And he was up 4-2, 40-15 in the third or something. It was one of the ITFs.
I mean, he could probably beat Lerner right now if he just throws the kitchen sink at him and, on one day out of 10, it works.
Yeah. And then he was like, but I played such good tennis, somewhere of 2023.
But it doesn't matter who he's playing in a way, right? I mean, he can lose to anybody.
Yeah. So I think at some point he's starting to ask himself, like, is it worth it? Basically, like, is all the travel and everything worth it? So I think he recently moved as well. So he lives in Croatia now, which I guess is more convenient for him travel location wise anyway. But
gonna be further away from his friends now, but well. Well, Menchik facing some breakpoints early on in the third set. Not looking too sharp here after dropping that tie break. And if Basiashvili can just put any pressure on these, but I think he just misses the return a little long. I think the Menchik intensity is definitely at a lull right now.
Yeah.
Basiashvili is so disappointed at missing that return. Maybe Menchik can rely on that good serving to just carry him through as he finds an ace down the tee. 21 aces already for the Czech. I mean, Basiashvili gotta be one of the easier players to ace as well, but still, one of the easier players to ace.
Yeah. Gauff, by the way, up a break 3-1 in the second set. Trying to finish this off so she can clear the way for Yannick Sinner and Nicolas Jarry, which I'm sure is like the most exciting match of the day for you, Damien. You just can't wait to watch every single point of it.
Yeah. A Jarry first serve, when it's gonna be returned by Sinner at his feet. Cannot wait. But yeah, by the way, obviously, I think someone mentioned that already, but we've had two winners on the women's side in the meantime. First two of the day, Burge and Samsonova. Olga Danilovic coming pretty close right now as well, serving for the win. There's more breakpoints for Basiashvili, and there's more great serves from Menchik to climb out of this mess. Well, Tomljanovic up a set and a break on Ashlyn Kruger.
Yeah, not looking good for my dark horse, who came into this tournament with a lot of momentum and form.
The greater Kudermetova, the new greater Kudermetova as well right now on the court against Magdalena Frank. Is the new lesser Kudermetova? Yeah, I mean, she has to be in the draw, but I don't remember who she's playing.
Let's see. I mean, she's really fallen off, right? She's like 75, 80 in the world now.
Yeah. I remember 2 years ago, Jack picked her to make the final in Australia.
Final of the Australian Open? Really? Okay, that's really wild. This might be the wildest prediction I've ever heard. No offense, Jack.
She
Or
was in
maybe,
the
yeah,
top 10 at the time, you know?
Oh, yeah, she finished that year number 9, right? She was an alternate at the WTA finals.
She's playing Olivia Gadetsky, and then, yeah, Bolter in the second round, potentially. Tiafoe up 2 sets to love up by 2 sets. And then Tabilo and Karbaez-Baena are in a pretty similar moment of the match as Basilashvili. Menchik, as Menchik claims that 2-1 game. 4 breakpoints saved, I think, but for the most part, he just got out of it with decent serving.
Yeah. I think I picked Gadecki actually to beat Kudermetova.
I don't really think it matters a great deal. I mean, it's just a 50-50 match. Opening round, second round, either of them is losing to Bolter probably. So
yeah, Bolter has a good draw to get to the fourth round at least, probably even quarters, if depending on how Paulini plays. I saw that Paulini isn't 100% fit. Someone posted a video of her practicing. She's wearing like this knee brace.
it's Katie's chance for sure. Regardless of how fit Paulini is, I think the chance for that quarter is there.
Yeah. Jack's wild pick was Kudermetova to win the 2023 Australian Open. The year that... Is that what you said? Or you said, final. My bad. Final. Who did Jack pick to win it? Did he pick Sabalenka or something?
I don't remember much. It was 2 years ago. But Kudermetova stuck with me.
Because then if he did that, then it's like, okay.
I just remember hearing about this, and he was on this, we were in Bonn with me, Mario, and John, and I just remember Jack joined for the stream, and I remember hearing about this and being like, what? You did what? You picked Kudermetova to make the final of the Australian Open?
That's like, Loki, that's like someone I know on Twitter, Siddhant, picking Ugo Humbert to win Madrid or something.
No, but like Sid picks like Holger Rune a lot as well, or something like that. But he just does basically he picks what he wants. Jack, I think, was trying, but I don't know. She was a top 10 player at the time, so like it wasn't that ridiculous. I saw that somebody was picking Emma Navarro to make the final, for example. Like that clearly tells me, okay, you're American, you just like her, you want her to make the final. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, she's in Ego's quarter and she plays Peyton Stearns. When is the Stearns match? Is that today or tomorrow?
I don't recall it being tomorrow, to be honest. So I guess it must be today?
I think it's today then. Or maybe it's a night match?
Actually, no, it's not today. I don't see it. I think so. It has to be tomorrow after all. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So tomorrow we have that, and we have Shelton Nakashima. So those two American matches, I will be tuning in to.
Those two American matches I won't be watching.
Yeah. Isn't Ghosty a big Peyton Stearns believer?
He is.
Yes. He loves Korda and he loves Peyton Stearns.
They should get married.
There's Ghosty's dream.
Well, I mean, Basilashvili is flying right now. That backhand cross here, just really almost getting Menchik blown off the court, literally. No, I don't think Stefanos is dropping outside the top 15 after this event. I mean, kind of overrating the number of points I think that he would lose. Fourth round is 200 points, so it's 190 points he can lose. So in fact, he's not gonna drop any position if unless someone from behind him does something great. But yeah, he's still gonna be like 12, 13.
You lose to Michelsen at this point in your career in straight sets. That is like.
And obviously, results like this, they just put even more pressure on that clay swing for him, right? Without the Monte Carlo title right now, he'd be pretty dead in the rankings. So
yeah, and I mean there were parts of his clay season that I thought he could have done even better. I mean, he loses to Jari in that quarterfinal in Rome. I was like, that's a good opportunity to win the title right there. Or like that second set that he played against Djokovic at the Olympics when Djokovic's knee was bothering him a lot.
Yeah, but that's not for points. So, but yeah, I agree.
Actually, now that I think about it, that could have completely changed the Olympic Games. If he wins that second set and Novak is still struggling with the knee,
and Carlos has the gold medal.
Yeah, then Carlos has the gold medal. So that's rewriting history. Yeah, maybe Djokovic comes back, he wins the third 6-2, and then the same thing happens, but you never know.
I mean, I was just saying that on the assumption that Novak loses the match. I wasn't just thinking about the second set, but yeah, sure. Just to be clear. Just coming up with these names now. I mean, you're just making them up, John. Some of these people don't exist.
They show up once in a while, yeah.
Oh, and yeah, you forgot Nurlan, indeed. Our co-founder.
Oh, and for the first time in the match, Tsitsipas has a break point.
Okay.
So can he do something there? I'm just going to watch the point back again in deuce. How did he earn that break point? Okay, he went back on a second serve and he crushed a forehand cross court. But what does he do on the break point? Let's see. Okay, so he does get the break actually at 3-1. He makes the first serve return on the forehand. Michelsen, yeah, kind of blew the +1. So Tsitsipas is officially in the match properly.
He just allowed Michelsen to get a lead like this, He wants the challenge.
Yeah, he wants to come back from 2 sets to love down for the 4th or 5th time in his career. I mean, he's probably always. Of course, there's a Rafa match. There's a Musetti match at Roland Garros.
Yeah, Musetti was the one that came to mind first, to be honest. That Nadal one, for some reason, I never really remember it happened.
Yeah, he did it in 2021.
Probably no 2 sets to have done comebacks at the US Open.
No. Nope, none at US Open or Wimbledon. Yeah, it was very weird because Nadal should have won that match in straights. And he was up in the tiebreak and he missed 3 smashes or something. And he won the first 2 sets very easily. And I remember going to bed thinking oh, Nadal's going to win this straight sets. This is total annihilation. And it literally was. For 2 sets, it wasn't close one bit. And then I woke up to Stefanos winning 6-4 in the 5th. So
that was me yesterday with Kei Nishikori and Thiago Monteiro.
Oh yeah, that was the highlight of the day yesterday for sure. That match, especially the way that backhand volley that he hits to save the first break point, and then the second one he hit with a serve out wide unreturned, and then he just really came to life. Sets 2, 3, and 4. And actually, the 5th set wasn't that. on paper 6-3, you're thinking, okay, that's easy, but actually he saved 2 break points at 3-2 in the 6th game as well, and yeah, now I just wonder how is his body going to hold up. At least he'll have 2 days off, so that's good. But right now he's just one of those players who can't really back it up.
Let's just say he's going to be a big Christopher O'Connell fan.
Yeah, but I think if he's right physically, he can push Tommy. Like, I don't think Tommy will just roll over him.
I mean, yeah, but he can't win.
What if he gets it to a 5th? Then there's a chance.
I'm not going to believe it then. It might be like Shelton Nishikori at the French.
Oh yeah, he lost that in 5?
No, he retired after 2 sets.
Oh, he retired up. Okay, yeah.
After winning against Diallo in 5.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot about
But that was not a comeback from 2 sets to down. He was 2 sets up then, and then won the 5th.
Yeah. He should be more confident now, though. I think he's in a much better place now than he was.
Oh, definitely, yeah. At the French, he only had 1 match prior to that. The whole season in Miami to Offner. So
yeah.
Poor Sebastian Offner, one of the 2 players so far to withdraw from the draw, even from the entry list before the draw was made. No one remembers that Sebastian Offner exists right now.
Okay, I mean, Volyanets was up a break actually in this 3rd set, but Shramkova breaks twice after that and is up 4-1 in the 3rd. Shramkova, could she do something against Swiatek in the 2nd round?
She has a better shot than Volyanets.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Or at least she's more aggressive and can actually put some pressure on Iga. I don't know. We'll see after today, maybe as well. Siniakova has a lot of weird options to conduct points, and yeah, it's a match that could actually tell you something. It's not like one of these like complete throwaway first rounds. Danilovic, in the meantime, finished off Arantxa Rus. Diana Schneider will be serving for the match against Elisabetta Cocciaretto, and so will Magdalinette against Moyuka Uchijima. Svitolina and Kirstea also on the court. Is this Kirstea's first match since like ages, or did she play a warm-up? I don't remember her playing, but maybe. Oh, she did play a warm-up, okay. In Adelaide, she lost to Julie Meyer. Fair. That was qualifying in Adelaide, okay. So her ranking must be, like 71 right now, okay. When did she finish her 2024 campaign? Was it like Wimbledon or Roland Garros? I don't know. Wimbledon, yeah. So Kirstea is actually on a 7-match losing streak.
Yeah, she would hire Thomas Johansson again if she could. Because she had a really good run with him. But Johansson is now working with Nishikori.
He prefers Nishikori,
yeah. Is that one of the biggest surprises this century, by the way, in terms of Grand Slam winners? It has to be, right? Thomas Johansson winning the 2002 Australian Open.
Oh, it's bigger than Gaudio.
Yeah.
Bigger than Albert Costa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really the most surprising one.
That's kind of the end of the surprising winners, I guess. I mean, Cilic. Cilic, to be honest.
Cilic as well, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Johansson is, Cilic also held up over time a little better.
Yes, he did. He made 2 other Slam finals and he achieved more, so.
So maybe it's like at the moment when it happened, I think Cilic and Johansson could have been pretty similar. But then you have the fact that Cilic actually stayed on top of the sport for a while. So yeah, I think Johansson, or Jonsson as they read it, I think in Sweden, and yeah, just an incredible story, of course, with Marat partying until 5 a.m. or whatever it was, and then showing up with some like girls from the club and being basically really hungover / still drunk. These are the characters we need in tennis. Nick Kyrgios playing FIFA until 4 a.m. or going out for drinks until 4 a.m. and then winning.
Yeah, I've been seeing some mixed reactions from players about the coaching pod. I mean, the coaching setup. Like some people are like, "Oh, it's so close to the court, you can't really see the baseline furthest from you," and then other people are like more in favor of the innovation. So,
what do you mean, even like with you can't see the baseline?
I think like
who
the
can't see the
angle that
baseline?
they're facing, like they can't really see the other side of the court like that clearly because they're
I mean,
so close to that one corner.
Okay, but that's useless.
Yeah,
Like you don't need to see all the lines clearly. It's not important really.
like I remember Brad Gilbert saying yesterday that he's not a big fan of it because he can't see the match as clearly as he could before.
It's just Brad Gilbert.
No, and then I also think I don't know who it was. Someone mentioned Alcaraz. Someone put the question to Alcaraz in the press conference, and he says it's good that he can be so close to Juan Carlos Ferrero, and like kind of have interactions with him. But then he also doesn't think it's the best viewing angle.
Exactly. So I think if you don't like that angle, you're just like kind of not actually watching tennis because you don't need to see all the lines. You really don't. Anyway, can you guess what my reaction was when James asked me about it on Last Ball Drops? Like when he asked me about my opinion on this?
Oh, you probably said it doesn't matter and you don't care.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna guess.
You probably said it's in quotes. It is irrelevant.
No, I think I actually said personally I don't care.
Yeah, okay, yeah, classic, yeah. Yeah, that's very much your style, I guess. I guess you're just a simple mind. You're just a simple guy who knows exactly what he likes and doesn't like.
I mean, I think I actually said that I'm a simple guy in that whole speech. That I'm a simple guy. I want to watch the points.
You're like very
the
clear about
match.
like what you want and what you don't want. Like it's like very
Sure, yeah.
you're like
I
very
think
straightforward.
I literally
I
use this
think in that
phrase that
way.
I'm a simple guy. I just want to watch the points, the match. I don't care where the coach is sitting. It's really not that relevant to me. So yeah. I was pretty sure you were going to guess it right. Kind of out of nowhere, by the way. At 30-15, Basilashvili had this great net court again for himself and was 40-15. It seemed like an easy game, but now there's a break point for Menchik. Really out of nowhere, considering how this set has been going, and now you are perhaps in one of the most important rallies of the match. Once again, it's forehands cross court, and Basilashvili is winning so many of these exchanges, including this one as well.
So Coco is serving for the match against Kenin right now. Oh no, not serving. I mean, Kenin is serving to stay in the match. My bad. So she might break to open.
Friend of the show, Zeynep Solmez, in trouble. Yeah, Magdalinet was broken when serving for the match. Lots of Polish action today. All the women are playing, and then tomorrow will be the male day.
Samsonova hasn't made a slam quarterfinal yet.
Yeah.
She's maybe somebody who could do it, but I think she's just going to lose to Coco if she gets there.
One more breakpoint for Menchik at 4-3. He was the one kind of battling against it the entire set, so this is huge. If you can somehow just get an error from Basilashvili, who, to be honest, has been like pretty consistent off the ground this set. He's also getting a lot of depth here on his shots, but of course, you extend the points by 2 or 3 more, and the error is coming. So Menchik is serving for the third set, but this is not comfortable anymore. Like the first set obviously was, but after this, it's been a battle.
So you think Ruud is rooting for Basilashvili?
I mean, Ruud probably doesn't want to play either player.
Yeah, but the chances of Basilashvili playing really good for like 3 sets.
Yeah, they're pretty low, but at the same time, sometimes you just come up against him and yeah, it feels like nothing you do matters. So he's a perfect player for me then. But yeah, I mean that's kind of why I think Basilashvili is just a horrible guy to play against. But yeah, I mean, all in all, obviously you still would rather face him than Menchik. Menchik at this stage of his career is not unlikely to give you a match just on a silver platter, and Basilashvili is still doing that a lot of the time.
Yeah, by the way, Stefanos, he had a break point to go up 5-1 in the set. Doesn't take it, Michelsen holds, and then here at 30-all, he goes for this drop shot. Michelsen gets it with the slice, really good speed. Makes Tsitsipas hit a tough volley on the stretch, and it's break point. And so this set that looked to be very comfortable for Steph is now turning into a bit of a dicey situation.
Ace number 800 today for Menchik, and he gets 3 set points.
Okay, that's a really nice serve plus 1 combination from Steph to save the break point. It's kind of what he's known for, outside of the backhand shanks.
Yeah, I think he's actually known for his backhand, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know his strengths, people know his weakness. Anyway, 2-1 Menchik. Kruger broke back in that second set, so she's still in it, at least for the time being. Linette and Uchima might be going to the tiebreak from here, 5 games all.
It was his first serve in this game. Just kind of failed him, so he double faults and deuce. So another break chance for Michelsen to break back. Okay, this time he makes the first serve, gets it into the body.
Jake, Sorana Kitstea had a foot surgery. She's 34, by the way, kind of shockingly.
Oh yeah, I knew that. But because she made a Masters final, I want to say in 2014, like Canada or something. This is just Serena, like 2-0.
Yeah, she also had like a big run in Madrid in 2009, so I guess I should expect it. But yeah,
she just kind of had this resurgence out of nowhere. And then she beat Rybakina at the U.S. Open last year. She beat Sabalenka in Miami. Suddenly had all these wins.
Roberto Carballes Baena about to go 2-1 up on Tabilo.
Oh yeah, Tabilo, by the way, you see him falling off this year in terms of
yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's a very quick yes. I've been saying that from the very start of this season. That, like, probably Tabilo stands out as a guy who kind of overperformed last year.
Yeah. By the way, talk about a choke. That semifinal against Zverev.
Yeah, that was perhaps the biggest opportunity of his career, and yeah, he kind of blew it. What a story it would have been as well. The all Chilean final.
In a Masters 1000 final. That's pretty big.
That's ever happened. I mean, I don't think Gonzalez, Masu, or Rios combined into something like that. And in the times of Victor Petri, not Victor Petri, but Jaime Filol or Hans Gildemeister, I don't think they had more players at the same time. So probably the first one, and would have been something special.
Tsitsipas still having to fight so hard to win this game. He does have another game point though here. But okay, so he holds for 5-2. Coco today 9 double faults, 32 unforced errors, but wins 6-3, 6-3. Of course, her performance got better. It cleaned up, especially in the second set. But yeah, it still doesn't really change how I feel about her chances, to be honest.
Yeah, it's routine enough.
Loose. And I think in the second round she should be fine as well. She's playing Jodie Burrage.
Oh yeah.
Can't see her being a threat whatsoever. And honestly, even in the third round, if Fernandez gets there.
Yeah, if they didn't have that United Cup match just now, and if Coco wasn't that good at the United Cup, I would think, okay, maybe. But
I'm really sad to say this, but I unfortunately don't rate Fernandez anymore.
I never did.
I just like the thing is that US Open run really got you going, but then and then I think another run that really got me going is the Roland Garros one, where she gets to the quarters. She's looking really good. She beats Bencic and Anisimova. She's playing Trevisan, and then she hurts her foot. And I was thinking, okay, like she could actually get to the final. And then, yeah, since then, I feel like she's hit a very clear ceiling of like, okay, you're gonna be like 25 to 30 in the world and keep making third rounds of slams, and like that's who you are.
Yeah, I don't feel like I never did. So my opinion hasn't really changed, I guess. Although it was, of course, a very exciting US Open run. So many tight battles against top quality players, whereas Raducanu kind of, she didn't sleepwalk through the draw. She was peaking, but basically all of her matches were just so comfortable.
Yeah.
Man, she definitely showing a lot of intent to be more aggressive in this opening game of this fourth set. Kind of working, kind of not. He had this second serve return to attack here, but he sends it wide. But maybe he's just not willing to give Basilashvili as much of an opportunity to smash him around the court anymore.
Yeah, Raducanu didn't face anybody in the top 10. Oh, no. She beat Sakari, right? Was Sakari in the top 10 back then?
I don't think so, because
she was not. Okay.
Still out.
Yeah, I guess that's still
lacking a top 10
I guess she beat Bencic. She beat Bencic, who won the gold. So it's not like, some of these wins were good.
No, it's not. It's not like it was a horrible draw or anything, but yeah, I think she still doesn't have a top 10 win, right?
No, she beat Pagula last year, so that was her first.
Oh yeah, until last year. Yeah, until last year. Yeah.
But yes, until then she didn't have any, and she's been as high as 10 in the world, but she didn't beat a top 10 player.
Yep, which is, I mean, more importantly, I think even she has a slam and she hasn't beaten a top 10 player.
Yeah, wild.
Or at least hadn't beaten a top 10 player until way after that slam.
Yeah. But by the way, when is that match against Alexandrova? Is that also tomorrow? Or is that today? Let's see. Might even be today. No, I don't see it. I guess it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
But yeah, that section, I don't know. Some people have Alexandrova coming through. Some people have Anisimova. Some people have Raducanu. I just went with Anisimova.
I think I did too, but I mean, all of them can do it.
Bencic. I mean, yeah, but Bencic was playing well at the time. She beat Iga in the fourth round of US. She won the gold. Yeah, actually, Iga was the only player that season to get to the 4th round of all the slams.
Matic won the gold and partied for a month.
I would too if I won the gold. Oh, and by the way, Stefanos, he will feel really good because he broke to just win that set. And maybe, just maybe, we might see another 2 sets to love come back. And Jake
Well,
is pumped.
he'll definitely
he's
be
a
feeling
Stefanos
better
fan.
than Nicolas, who just got broken in the 4th set with a double fault. And now Menchik is just 5 holds away from taking this one.
Yes. Menchik versus Rude is going to be fun. That's exciting.
Yeah, there's like a lot of second round matches potentially that I called the best second round match already. And that includes Ruud Menchik. That includes Opelka Mahac. I'm sure there was something. Or Berrettini Rune, if it happens.
Berrettini Rune, yeah. Or Nori.
No, thank you. I mean, if it happens, if it's Nori Rune, it's not gonna be a good match now.
Have Nori and Berrettini actually played each other? In like the last 2 years? Probably
Queen's
not.
Cup final only match.
Yeah, so not since 2021 then.
Draper Kokinakis, by the way, another great round 2 match that we might get.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
So there's a lot of best second round matches, basically.
Opelka Mahac is maybe my favorite, but
I think it might be mine as well, yeah. Also, the thing that, likely one of them will have to play Novak, unless Jaime Faria has something to say about that. I have a prediction for Djokovic playing Faria in the second round. Jaime is going to come out with like a bandaged wrist. He's going to keep talking about that injury. He also will say in the post-match interview that he can't speak English, and then he'll actually speak English fine, and he's going to beat Novak 7-6 in the 4th set. Yeah, sure.
And then you will wake up.
Yeah, pretty much. The other day, I had this very weird feeling as well because I was watching the Nontaburi final and it was Noguchi against Kui. And after the opening set, I was like really struggling to stay awake. The final was starting at 5 a.m. my time, and I didn't actually go to bed before the final. So, it was a nightmare. And then I slept for like half of the second set when while I was sleeping or like barely sleeping, I was literally playing this much in my head. So I wake up and I'm like, wait, why is the score 4-2? It was 4-all in my head. And then I realized that was a dream. But literally, like that particular match was something that was going on in my head, which is something that never happened to me before, I think.
Yeah. When you watch a lot of tennis, your dreams get very weird.
Yeah.
It's true. Actually, did I ever tell you that you were in one of my dreams like 2 nights ago?
Not sure.
Actually, I think I mentioned.
Oh no, you mentioned it in the group chat. Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I randomly was watching a movie and I was with Felix. I was like, so weird. I don't know how that happened, but anyways, I'm watching this movie with Felix, and I don't know what the movie is or whatever. But like those pre-movie trailers, all of a sudden you just pop up on the screen, like the really big screen in the theater, and you're just saying something in Polish. I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, in Polish as well, yeah.
And you're like talking really fast in Polish. I don't know what you were advertising either. But
maybe they're
Felix and
finally
I just look at each
producing
other
that,
and we're just like so confused.
Maybe they're finally producing some like Netflix Challenger episode or whatever. Like Netflix episode about the Hungarian generation of 98, 99, and then they just signed me as an expert. And I'm talking in Polish for an episode on Hungarian tennis. That would be perfect.
Yeah. And then later in the same dream, I was drinking kombucha at the theater, and I offered Felix some. I'm like, "You want to try some?" And then he's like, "No, don't worry. I have my maple syrup. I got it from Vasek." I think I know why I had this dream because, like, the night before, I was watching Felix play Tommy Paul. So Maybe that's how Felix was in my dream. And
What
then
was Vasek Pospisil doing there?
no, but I remember thinking, like, remember when Vasek Pospisil was drinking maple syrup in the changeover?
Sure, it makes sense. Yeah.
I guess yeah. I just
Then Peter Polański showed up and got a lucky loser spot to play in your dream.
oh. Tsitsipas, by the way, down a couple of breakpoints in the opening game of the fourth. Under a lot of pressure, but he saved the first with an ace.
Basiashvili is like on the verge of imploding after this super long rally where Menchik was, I don't know, for 20 shots just scrambling around and eventually got the error. Saved the first breakpoint though, the Georgian, but like if he goes 2 breaks down here, I'm not really expecting much from him anymore, and I'm not going to be expecting much from him anymore in this match indeed, as it's a net court that he kind of has to follow to the net at this point. Like I think he probably just needed to do it, but Menchik easily passes him on the forehand side, so he's 2 breaks up now in the fourth set, and things are looking more and more clear for the young Czech here. Carbaez Baena also like up a break in the fourth now on Tabito. And by the way, what's happening in Michelsen Tsitsipas?
Yeah, so Michelsen just broke. Stefanos missed the first serve, and he's still complaining about it on the change of ends. He's like, I missed it by this much, and he thought he made it, so he thought it was an ace. Second serve, Michelsen targets the Tsitsipas backhand, and Steph runs around and he tries to hit a forehand inside in, but he can't get his feet set. Hits it, and that's the point. So pretty much what you would expect in terms of a point lost.
I just read this from Jake, and I was like, okay, so is she playing that well? But then I realized that's not about how she's playing.
So yeah, Stefanos is in big trouble here, down a break in the fourth, as he just shanks a backhand. Looked like it was gonna go out of the stadium for a second.
I'm not really sure what Swarna means here, but I like how this phrase sounds in general. Even if he's more like a comic character than a tennis player. I mean, I guess I more or less understand what you mean. And indeed, Jake is right, yeah. Swarna is brutal tonight.
Wait, when was the last time Tsitsipas lost 2 first rounds in a row?
I mean, what do you mean? At slams?
Yeah.
I mean, probably before he became like so like 2018 or.
No, it was actually after that.
So combined with the Roland Garros? No. I mean, like 2018 or 19, definitely, right?
Yeah, 19. So he lost Wimbledon first round.
To Fabiano? Is that the one?
Yeah, to Fabiano, and then loses first round of US Open to Rublev.
Oh, that I don't remember that one against Rublev at all, but yeah, Fabiano.
That was the one. That was the match where he had that argument with the umpire, and he was like,
"You're all weirdos." The French guys. Yeah, because it was against Rublev, it just never really felt to me like a first round, when I see this clip. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but this would be back to back.
I remember the Rublev run from 2017 a bit better.
And this is similar to the Kokkinakis match. You're playing in the day, kind of informed player who knows exactly what he has to do. Someone who's beaten or almost beaten him before. It's like, it feels like deja vu at times when you're watching Steph these days because.
Oh yeah. That's why I said at the beginning that like it's very tough to say or write anything original on Tsitsipas now.
Mm-hmm.
How many times can you say that the backhand sucks, that the return sucks? Like, yeah, he knows it. We know it. His opponents know it most, most importantly, and they are not afraid to use it.
At the United Cup, they were doing a thing between him and Sakari. Like, what shot would you not take from the other person? And yeah, Stefanos says the serve, obviously.
Okay.
And then Sakari says the backhand. And then Steph is like, yep, I was expecting that.
Had to be, yeah. She could go for like return or something like this, but if we're just like shots, then yeah, back.
Yeah.
Menchik goes for love up here, then I think I'm just gonna switch to Steph and Alex. I guess that's gonna be, you know, our finishing match of this stream anyway. So
Yeah.
But for now it's 30 all. So if there's just one break ahead, then I'm probably gonna stick with. By the way, the Czechs having a very nice event, I think here. We've got Menchik, Hečka, Mahac all in the second round. Yes, they were all pretty big favorites, but just in general, like they have chances here.
Yep.
Opelka and Hečka in the Djokovic section, which could be very vulnerable or could be suddenly turn out that, you know, Novak is crushing everybody. And Menchik playing Ruud in the second round for what I think is a 50-50 match. If he wins against Basiashvili, but at this point in time, it seems like he will.
Yeah, Sarkova beat Bolinets, by the way, 6-2, 6-2 in the last two sets.
Okay. Iga's potential second round opponent is then known.
Ooh, yeah, are you watching the net super tiebreak? Shall I tune into the net match?
If you wish to. I mean, 7-all in the breaker, actually. Yeah, that kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think I should tune into it because first super tiebreak.
Yeah, I guess all the matches that were very close to the super tiebreak yesterday actually ended 7-5 or like 6-4. So Blinkova Savi or Walton Alice. There were obviously super tiebreaks in the qualifying though, plenty of them. So
yeah.
Will Magdalena remain winless under the guidance of Agnieszka Radwańska?
Oh. Has Radwanska made the semis here? She has, right?
Oh yeah. 2016 she lost to Serena, a blowout. 2014 she lost to Cibulkova. That was a big chance. Didn't she lose one to Azarenka as well, maybe? Or am I coming up? No, I think that was a quarter. So yeah, maybe just these two, 2014 and 16. That would be my guess. And I would be right on that. Yes, that other match against Vika must have been a quarter because she also beat Vika in an Australian Open quarterfinal, but that was 2014. It was actually her most consistent slam always.
If Radwanska beats Lisicki in the 2013 Wimbledon semi, does she win the title?
75% she does.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that was the chance clearly. Of course, the final against Serena, it's Serena. What can you do?
Oh yeah, Siegemund, yeah. That first round match against Coco. To me, this looks like a 6-4 Michelsen set. Maybe even more one-sided.
I read the interview Silky did with Lini. Who is Lini?
Lina?
I don't think John did an interview with Lina.
Oh, Andy? I don't know.
Maybe.
Lee too? Definitely not him.
Lynette? We had an interview with Lynette. I don't know. Well, Lynette should get Ursula in. Ursula's still playing, right? So she's busy trying to maintain her own career. Didn't know we had a Lynette interview. I have to listen to this. I'm such a big Magda Lynette fan. I hope she was explaining her Chinese jokes.
Almost beat Sabalenka in the first round of Roland Garros last year.
Those types of players drive me crazy too, especially if they are playing someone I'm coaching. So frustrating. I'm not really sure which ones you're referring to now.
Magdalena Frank is defeating Polina Kurumatova right now. Set in a break.
About Zygmunt, okay. Just because of her attitude? Do I think I could ever be a coach? I probably shouldn't. I mean, my technical knowledge is far from good enough. It's okay for this. It's okay to be an expert among the casual fans on Twitter or whatever. But nah, it's definitely not good enough to be a proper coach. If you just enlisted me to kind of talk matchups, talk players, because I know a lot of these challenger guys, then maybe, but that wouldn't be a full range of what a coach should do, right? So for a very specific set of purposes, maybe, but definitely not in terms of a full-time coaching job. That I would just be a failure at that for sure. It just wouldn't make sense. Literally, if someone offered me that, I would say no, because that's in the same way that I wouldn't right now. If someone asked me to engineer something for him, I also would say no. What if? Wow, I mean, this fourth set between Basilashvili and Menchik is suddenly going in a very weird direction. So he obviously lost that one break, Menchik. That was fine, right? I mean, it's just the insurance break. But now he's love 40 down again. And
I don't know. I just get the feeling with Menchik, I'm still really high on him. I still think he's going to be a top 10 player, but is he putting too much pressure on himself these days?
He was at the next gen finals, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then I thought he was very tight in some moments against Borges. And the same thing happened at the US Open. Maybe that match was also in his head in the tight moments.
Yeah, the US Open was the fact that he struggled so much with Schoolkate, and then also against Borges, what he did.
Because he should beat Borges, right? I don't think there's anything tactically that Borges does that should.
Yeah, he's just a class above. He's literally just a class above, but he's not showing that on the court.
Yeah, I think he's actually slightly underperforming right now.
I mean, back-to-back quarters at the same time, right?
Yeah.
He is 19 after all.
True.
And he has just saved these 3 breakpoints.
But the season overall was amazing. He was outside. He finished 48 or something in the world, which is
There were still months at a time when he was pretty poor. There were breaks in his peaking, and his top 10 wins, they were both Dimitrov and Rublev, I think. Which, well, they're not the strongest top 10 wins, but at the same time, they were very impressive for the age and for the moment of his career. And I think the highlights were definitely good enough to be very satisfying as a break to the top 100 season. Now you would expect him to at least be top 30 at the end of the year, I think.
Oh yeah, I have him in my top 20. I think he can be the 15 to 20 range.
I like that. I don't disagree. I think it's just, a relatively optimistic target, as in if he doesn't make it, it's not the end of the world.
But then after that, I don't know how high you can go after that. After that, I might have some more questions.
He should be more consistent than some of his other peers. Just doesn't have the same kind of top heavy game a la Shelton or Fields, but at the same time, his ceiling probably isn't as high as theirs. So
Oh, okay, a little bit of an opening here for Steph. Michelsen's played a couple of loose points here. Missed a backhand that he just wasn't missing at all. And left 30.
Is the Cock playing today? Yeah, I was just wondering if there will be many openings in his match.
All right, second serve, left 30. This could get interesting now. Stefanos going way back to return the second serve. Hoping to get a forehand. Oh, and he gets the miss from Michelsen. So it's a double fault. So love 40. Well. All of a sudden, 3 break points. Hits an ace on the first. Down the tee. Michelsen has hit that serve pretty well on the outside today. The one down the tee. Tsitsipas is like sort of guessing that he's going to go wide. And then now he has a second serve here at 1540 and he's way back. And Michelsen double fault. So wow, that was really a gift. Tsitsipas actually didn't have to do anything in that game. Like 2 double faults, 1 easy backhand, another forehand. So he got 4 errors from the racket of Michelsen. For a guy like Alex, this win is actually pretty big. I mean, it would be his biggest win, right? Ranking wise. No, that's not true actually. Maybe he beat Fritz in Geneva. I don't know what Fritz was ranked then, like maybe 11 or actually no, he was probably top 10. So second biggest of his career.
Yeah, I think he was top 10, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of bigger, but at the same time, you can also make the case that it's not.
Yeah, that it's
they
not.
are pretty similar in terms of the potential caliber, but well, for now, let's see if he can actually deliver on that, as it's now 3-all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and does he miss that smash? I think he might have missed it. Tsitsipas thinks he's missed it. It was a backhand lob that Tsitsipas threw up. Oh, and he didn't get a call, and I think he's not going to be happy about that. Oh, it caught the sliver of the side. And electronic line calling, but Tsitsipas doesn't agree. He's going to have to let it go. Yeah, he's going to have to let that go. I also thought it was out, to be, but it just kissed the line, so. Yeah, someone as experienced as him should not be dwelling over that past this point. Ooh. Kind of in trouble in this point, and it's left 30. Once again, Michelsen pressuring that backhand. He gets a weaker short ball, and then he goes inside in. And those outside points right now are just not working out for Steph. He's not able to get into that pattern that he wants to play against Michelsen, which is forehand to forehand. Instead, he's trying to hit run around forehands, or he's trying to defend off the backhand, which, as we know, is a lose situation. But here, he's actually kind of dictating with the forehand on this point, and Michelsen comes up with the pass because he's anticipating it. Oh, wow, that was a really spectacular point from Alex, just on the dead run. Hits the backhand down the line pass. And just like that, he has 3 break points. Wow. But again, once again, it's like you have to be good enough to take advantage, but the tactic is very clear. So love 40. Let's see what Tsitsipas does on serve. Okay, he saves 1. Serve out wide. Oh, oh my gosh, that also familiar backhand slice from Tsitsipas where he just floats it and it goes so high up while he's trying to defend, and you just know that's not going to land on the court. And Michelsen gets the break. So yeah, there was a backhand pass there. There was Tsitsipas struggling to defend on the backhand side. There was the miss smash, but ultimately that was, or the miss smash that Tsitsipas thought was out, but it was actually in.
Yeah,
So,
these
I
last
think-
two sets kind of gone away from the most common Tsitsipas patterns of like, the first two sets, they would have been just like nothing to talk about really, right? At least right
Yeah.
now, there's
For
a
me, I
bit
think,
more.
I
It's
think
not
like
as
we said, like it
spell-oriented
puts a lot of
anymore.
pressure on the strengths to perform, and even the strengths. I just feel like there's more players who know how to negate them, So the weaknesses are not getting any better, and the strengths are staying the same sometimes, and they're getting worse sometimes. So
Menchik one game away, by the way. 31 aces already.
Yeah, and the slice is just non-existent, basically.
The weaknesses seem to be getting worse. Maybe. I think to me, like watching the match today was just like more, yeah, I don't really see how he can turn this around because there's not many like assets actually. So the backhand is getting pressured, but
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
have that like super world class elite serve or forehand. But he's still not done. This match is now getting very dicey, as much as I said um, earlier. So
yeah. And Michelsen is so close to the finish line, so he does feeling some pressure. You know, left 15. Okay, this time Tsitsipas makes better contact with the first serve. Michelsen doesn't hit the spot, so left 30. Yeah. It's like you watch him play on clay, and all of a sudden, because of the amount of time that he has on the ball, you realize how good his assets are, and then you put him on a hard court like this.
yeah,
He's
it's
like almost
just
like
so mediocre. Like even the forehand is really mid this match.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it was for last year. If you look at the tennis insights, like forehand quality, he was 8th amongst all the players, but like 8th, like in 2023, he was number 3 or number 2.
Yeah, I
And
guess
same thing with
8th
the
isn't
serve.
that
He had
horrible
the
though.
most. He had the most service games won in 2023. It was like 88%. Last year, 83%. Like 5% is a big dip. Oh, backhand line for Michelsen. Yeah, and it was like the same number of matches as well. So I feel like it's a.
And
fair
by the
comp.
way, Jakub Menchik has just cleaned up the match against Nicolas Basilashvili. 31 aces. It really helped him like avoid going down 1-2. I think there was a chance for Basilashvili there, but overall, like Basilashvili is just such a linear hitter, right?
Ooh.
It's just like huge pace, huge spin down the middle of the court, and I think Menchik is a comfortable scrambler. He can
That was
definitely
some
take that
miss from
against him.
Michelsen. Michelsen 30 all has this easy. I don't want to say soup. It was a little awkward because it was just below his knees, but a ball that he should have put away. So instead he doesn't, and it's 30-40. Oh, he makes Tsitsipas makes clean contact on that first serve return to the backhand, and then he has the forehand that he wants, and he shanks it. Like this is an example of the mediocreness, because here he actually hit a good backhand return. He got decent depth on it. He got the ball that he wanted. He was in decent position, but he just shanks it. And like that's a forehand, not a backhand. I don't see Federer joining the Tsitsipas team, really.
Yeah, it used to be discussed, but like at this point, I would be like, why? Like, what's the incentive for Roger to join the Steph team? I think he'd like to join if there was actually any hope, right? And at this point, it doesn't seem like there is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Obviously,
For
he
me,
wouldn't join
I
the
don't really
Grigor
actually
team
know how good
either.
of a coach. To me, Roger, I don't know actually how good of a coach he would be, because he just
No
made the game
idea.
look so simple that I don't know what he would tell players. He's like, just do it, just hit this drop shot, just flick the backhand. Like, it's not that hard.
I think when we had some quips from Laver Cup, it seemed like he would be pretty
Double fault.
okay. But I also
Oh yeah, I'm not
understand
saying he
your
won't be good.
sentiment.
Like, he'll be good, but I
Yeah,
just
I
feel like he
understand
was
your
so
sentiment, but
talented as a
like
player.
his style was very like natural for him, and
Yeah.
these players probably don't tend to be quite as insightful because they don't need to think on the court; they just play
Yeah.
instinctively.
Okay, but so also Michelsen choked a bit in that game. He had the easy forehand, he had the double fault. But that's kind of what it's taken. I mean, Steph needed 2 poor Michelsen service games to be at 4-all right now in the 4th. And right away he's down love 15. Can't control the pace on the backhand. I think the problem is just the pace absorption is just very poor. Even when he knows that he's going there, he can't seem to hit through the shot, and then he can't seem to slice. So then he's kind of half doing both. And that's not good. But he does get the really awesome serve forehand combination here at love 15. I mean, is Damien supporting Stefanos? I don't know if he really is. I don't think he cares.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
don't think
he
they do.
personally just doesn't care.
At this stage, I think it's just very depressing to see a match like this. But at this stage, I probably kind of wanna see just Michelsen maybe complete the win in the sense that, yeah, I mean he did get the first 2 sets and was kind of just like very clearly the better player there.
Alex
I think
Michelsen,
he
what a
deserves to
return
win
there.
so far. Let's just say this. That's kind of what I think. But it's depressing to see this like Tsitsipas complete drop off.
I think depressing is a good word.
Yeah, I've said it like 5 times already during this stream, but it really just explains everything I feel about this match from Tsitsipas's perspective and the general trajectory of his career as well.
Yeah. That return from Michelsen at 15-all was really good. And this one again at 15-30. Oh, I think Michelsen should have done a little more with the pass there. Because he hit a really awkward return. Steph kind of just guided the forehand as they approach. Michelsen had a lot of time, but it was a good volley from Steph. I gotta give him credit for that. Hits this down the line, and then he's kind of leaning, and it's a good stab. Okay. 40-30, but so he's barely surviving here. If he can just get out of this game somehow. Second serve. Okay, here he actually goes to the slice. He's slicing again. And
Wow.
Michelsen slices off the slice. Drop shot down the line.
Wow. I mean, again, wow. Actually, pretty decent slices from Steph as well.
Yeah, these stayed quite low as well.
Yeah, he just turns this whole the spin out from Steph against him, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, what? What am I watching right now? You're gonna see this in a second, but
Okay, I'm gonna see this point in deuce. White servant. Holy cow, Michelsen again with the forehand return. Did you see the forehand return he had at 15-all?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so 2 of those in a row. I mean, wow. Holy cow. Alex Michelsen.
This match is ridiculous right now. I mean, every single point is just insane.
Let's see this break point right here. Oh, that's the high backhand. Michelsen gets the forehand. Backhand cross from Michelsen. And holy cow, Stefanos Tsitsipas, backhand down the line winner.
The funny thing is, like, it's a good backhand down the line, obviously, but when Steph hits something like that, you're like basically your jaw is on the floor already. You just don't expect. Watch, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the next point is even more insane, maybe.
Okay.
What? What?
Okay, let's see this.
What is the sequence of points? I don't understand this. This is another just insane return from Michelsen,
What a
but this
shot,
one this time
dude.
of the backhand side, yeah.
This
And
is
lands
honestly
right
some
on
of
the
my
line.
favorite moments watching tennis is like when you just see two players like just produce these like
The
insane
last 4
shots.
points have been absolutely ridiculous. And you
Yeah.
just know that the next one is just gonna be like a double fault or a random error out of nowhere.
Yeah, first serve in the middle of the net. Wow. Oh, this time Michelsen tried to pull the trigger.
Yeah, well, it was fun while it lasted. Now they can go back to like just playing tennis.
Yeah, but that backhand return was amazing. The way he controlled that with both his hands and got it. He barely swung, you know? It was like a half swing. It was a bunt. It was like Adrian Manarino, but righty. So actually, he's hit 3 return winners in this game. And Tsitsipas has hit a backhand down the line winner. Pretty insane. Two second serve. Oh. Oof. That shank, man.
I love it when they also give you the replay of the shank, and you can see very clearly where it's, goes off from the racket.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Oh my goodness. Breakpoint number 3. Is this the one for Alex? Second serve. Oh, and he double faults. Oh my goodness. The wheels came off there at the end, huh? The last 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tweet.
Huh?
Yeah, I think if you're a Tsitsipas fan, I don't know how you do it. It's very, very frustrating. I will just say, it was fun being it was fun being a fan of his in 2019 to 2021. And at times when he's playing well, but when he's not playing well, it is not fun. Because the losses don't give you that much encouragement. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of them on Twitter. Tsitsipas fans? There's certainly a good number.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fans of his in Australia. He's very popular here. Let's see, though. This is kind of the biggest moment, maybe, of Michelsen's career so far. Second serve. Okay. Yeah, kind of the classic point, right? Where like Steph couldn't take control with the forehand. He kind of lets Michelsen settle into a baseline rally, and then the backhand gets attacked. You kind of know that the one hand that he's not going to be able to hit open stance, or he's not going to be able to hit a good slice. The ball floats up, easy volley. And then an ace at 15 love. Exactly right, Jake, exactly right. The uncharacteristic losses are now pretty standard. That's pretty much exactly it. Like, in fact, I'd actually like to go and do like some look into this. Like, of the players born in the 2000s, I feel like many of them have winning records or at least multiple wins over Steph now. Like, Feast leads the head-to-head 2-0. Draper leads the head-to-head 2-0. Runa leads the head-to-head 3-0. Michelsen is now about to lead the head-to-head 2-0. Like, it's a lot of players. I mean, these are just the young players. Then there's players like Struff, like Jari, who bother him consistently, no matter the surface. Of course, there's Daniel Medvedev, his biggest nemesis. There's Djokovic, there's Alcaraz. I mean, Fritz has beaten him twice. Casper Ruud beat him twice last year. So it's a lot of people, you know? But let's see if Michelsen finishes the job. 30 all, second serve. Oh, that was second serve was pretty close to the line right there. And now they're in a forehand to forehand rally. Michelsen going with the backhand down the line, and Tsitsipas was just stretched, not in a great position. Tries to go forehand cross, hits it in the net. So we're at match point. Match point for Alex Michelsen, 2 hours and 43 minutes. This match hasn't even gone 3 hours. And yeah, that's not going to be returned. Heavy first serve to the backhand. And Tsitsipas is out in the first round. Alex Michelsen moves on. Well, we've already talked a lot about it, but where does this leave Steph now?
Yeah, I mean, he was in a rough spot already. I think this is like the only real new thing that we got today was the fact that this is the first time this happens at the Australian Open to him. Like, obviously, he lost in the opening round in 2018, but, you know, I'm just talking the last few years. This was kind of like his most consistent slam, or at least alongside Roland Garros. And he was definitely performing at it, you know, so much better than in most of the other hardcore events. And the fact that this isn't the case anymore here, that's kind of the depressing part. But otherwise, obviously, Michelsen has some really good skills to attack, like has great tools to attack the backhand corner. As you said, just switch to the backhand line. This is so easy for him. He can approach to the net and is great there. So in a way, this is a tough opponent, but it feels like half the tour is a tough opponent for Steph right now. And it's not even like we were also mentioning that during the stream, but like, yeah, the strengths for Tsitsipas, they don't feel that impactful. I just never really felt like his forehand is going to win him the match or something like this. It's just not at that sort of level at the moment. It can't win the match on its own. And he kind of needs that on relatively fast hard courts right now. He needs a weapon that will win the matches, like literally, you know, his own for him. And he's not getting that from his serve and forehand. So all in all, definitely quite depressing. Like, no one was expecting much from him this event. I know I literally just like started saying that, well, this match is irrelevant because if Tsitsipas loses in the first round or in the second round, like, what does it really change? But this was like even more striking than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think we're going to sound very similar because, yeah, it pretty much, it just feels like the pool of players who can, you know, pick on his weaknesses and who feel like they go into the match already feeling very confident about their game plan and just executing it. Like, I didn't feel like Michelsen was having to red line or execute. Okay, that one game at 4-all was insane. The 3 winners that he had on the return, and obviously he deserves a ton of credit. But it's like he didn't have to do anything that he's not. You know, he didn't have to change his game plan or play a different way for Steph than he might have to do against another top player. So I feel like Michelsen continues this great progress. He's around 40 in the world. He's probably going to keep improving and building on this. And then Tsitsipas, yeah, it just puts a lot of pressure on that clay swing now. You know, he needs to, like, all of a sudden win Monte Carlo again, or get to the final of Barcelona, or do something in Madrid. Like, it's Like that stretch is kind of going to make or break his year. And yeah, unless there's other hardcore events where he can just get the serve and forehand going at that rate. I mean, yeah, Jose is tweeting about it right here. Like it's just the usual fire as well is a good point. I think we talked about it earlier that like he doesn't seem as motivated anymore as he used to be.
Yeah.
And like that's a big thing. Like you can see it in the body language, you can see it in between points, you can see how lost he looks, right? You can just see like he has no answers for what the opponent is throwing at him. And that's quite a perilous position to be in for a guy who was heralded to be, you know, a future world number one, multi Grand Slam winner, like win Roland Garros. You know, it's yeah, it's just very, very hard to see a path for him right now to get out of this rut. I mean, obviously he's still capable on a given day against a given opponent to find some of his best tennis. But yeah, it's like you are who you are at some point, and he's going to be what 27 this year. So he's been around a while, and every passing year it just feels like his chances get lower and lower to win a slam or win a big title, even, you know, win a Masters 1000 outside of Monte Carlo, for instance. It's rough for sure. I also feel pretty depressed.
Yeah, and like this puts a lot of pressure on Steph for that clay season as well. Just from the perspective that like, okay, if he's gonna continue like this, about a 50% win rate on hard courts, then he really needs that like Monte Carlo title every single year in order to stay any, you know, high in the rankings and everything. But yeah, right now the future seems bleak. I don't think the him looking a little bit less motivated is like the main factor of this. But obviously, after many losses like this and like zero ideas how to get out of this, because this is literally so similar to like half his losses in the last 6 months, then, you know, if you're playing like this constantly and if you have zero ideas how to actually get out of that pickle, then I can't blame him for getting a little bit down on himself, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing the match stats here actually, and both guys had more winners than unforced errors. I mean, I don't even think Tsitsipas played poorly, but it's just like, yeah, it's just like the path to beating him is just so much clearer for everybody that like it almost doesn't matter if the stats are even good. Yeah, and then that X factor as well is missing on the big points. Like whenever he needs that serve and forehand to work, he ends up getting you know, a shank or a double fault, or the ends to the games are not what they used to be. Like that's certainly the case. Although, well, what do you think about Michelsen's chances next round? You know, possibly a matchup against
He's going to be the
Landalusa.
favorite, obviously, against Landalusa or McCabe. I actually liked Martin's chances better against Steph than I do against Alex, because again, there's no like super clear target to attack, right? And we know that Landalusa is just beginning his Grand Slam career and his career as a whole in a way. So I think this might actually kind of close the door for him rather than open the door, even though generally speaking that shouldn't be the case, given that, you know, the high seed is out. Who is he gonna play after that? That's the one I don't remember right now. Yeah, Khachanov, Manarino, Diallo, Nardi. I mean, technically a chance for a big run is here. Like Khachanov, you know, it's not something that he cannot touch. I think Karen, well, we'll see how he's gonna play in the first 2 rounds. This is still the minor quarter, so I guess the 4th round is like the absolute max I can see Michelsen going to. But right now, obviously, the 3rd round is something very palpable, and he will be disappointed if he won't make it there.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, Michelsen made the 3rd round here last year as well, right?
Yep.
Losing to Zverev, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely chances for him in this quarter. If he faces Khachanov or Diminor, that would be already quite a good test. See kind of where he's at against these perennial top 10, top 20 players. Yeah, any other thoughts on the other matches or anything happening right now before we sign off?
Well, looks like Tsitsipas is about to close out. I'm probably gonna watch Marojan against Sabov-Wild, which I think that should be pretty similar to their Indian Wells clash last year, like Sejbovit was playing pretty well. And then he runs into Marozsan, who just is all about rushing you, and he doesn't really allow you to play that. McCabe and Landaluse starting, so the match that will obviously determine the winner. Well, whoever plays Michelsen in the second round. And yeah, your dark horse is out, by the way. Polina Kudermetova being out, some will be surprised with that as well.
Yeah, Tomljanovic is someone I didn't consider actually at all.
I think her form was like pretty off, right? So I think that's why I didn't really think of her too much. I did also have Ashlyn Kruger in like a, I don't know, second, third round at least. I don't remember where, but Tomljanovic's form just seemed pretty off, I guess. And she did just lose to Kruger as well in Adelaide. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and she's never really played well at the Australian Open compared to Wimbledon and US Open, so that's a big win for her.
There was also Azarenka is getting discussed a little bit in the chat. She is now
struggling,
close to being a set down to Bronzetti, and it would be a 6-1 set as well. But yeah, I guess not much action on the women's side right now. Already so many matches ended today. So yeah, I'm probably gonna switch to Sejbovit Marozsan now, I suppose.
Yep, I will stay tuned also for Bencic versus Ostapenko.
Oh yeah, and when is that? Is that on the? Yeah, it's after Steph or no? You guys after Steph, right?
Yeah, you guys after Steph. So
Bencic Ostapenko is when?
Bencic Ostapenko is. I'm just gonna pull up the schedule because I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it's after Tiafoe Rinderknecht, and Tiafoe is about to close that.
Cool. I think that might be like I might watch Bencic Ostapenko and then have a nap. I think so. So that's good that it's happening pretty soon. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it from us then. Thank you guys for the stream today. We did watch Tsitsipas Michelsen, Gauff Kenin. I guess Gauff Kenin we didn't really cover too much. So I guess mostly Tsitsipas Michelsen and Basilashvili Menchik were our main points of focus. Depressing loss for Stefanos Tsitsipas, but maybe an even bigger kind of like shocker, to basically give him more incentive to look for a drastic change either in his team or just in general in his game. And yeah, thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you, Vansh, and we'll see you probably some other time. Of course, as usual, you will have all these like last ball drops and what is the name of the show before the play begins? It's like Ready Play or something like that.
Ready Play,
yeah. So you're gonna have that as well on every single day for the time being, at least for the first week or so. So keep tuning into this, keep subscribing, and etc. And Osaka Garcia. Yes, also we have a watch along in the evening session. So I think Eddie is gonna be on that, right? Eddie and somebody probably, or Eddie alone. We'll see. Anyway, Osaka Garcia. There's gonna be a watch along from this. So Eddie and Zach. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys once more.
All right. Yeah. Thanks everybody.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.